And we are live. How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and you're watching and/or listening to ABL Live. Thank y'all for joining me tonight. You could be almost anywhere in the world, but you're right here with me, live on the show, and I appreciate y'all for that. We got a whole lot going on all over the internet, all over social media, all over the mainstream media. There's a whole lot going on. Alec Baldwin, man, oh man, somebody going to the penitentiary. Somebody is going to make big rocks and the little ones. This whole thing is crazy. You have a so-called prop gun on set, but yet you wind up shooting and killing somebody with a live round from a real gun, a Colt 45 at that. What's going on? We'll talk about it. We have some updates, of course, and of course, we got to talk about Dave Chappelle responding to all the LGBTQ elemental B, A, B, C, D, E, F, G nonsense. We got to talk about it. We got to talk about how there's more going on here than just the LGBT stuff. We got to talk about all the corporate interests that are involved here. Of course, your man Anthony Fauci apparently lied about the gain of function research at the Wuhan lab, but we all knew that. We all knew that he was not telling the truth about that. And we knew that there'd be more coming out. And of course, it has come out. Shout out to the dads on duty out there in Louisiana, taking back their community. You got this school with fight after fight after fight after fight, but they come in and they're able to clean things up pretty quickly. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about the rest of everything else and more on tonight's episode of ABL Live. And I thank y'all again. Definitely appreciate you guys. You are the best audience anywhere on the internet. If you enjoy what you have heard thus far, and if you enjoy the content in general, please give the video a thumbs up. Also, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. And we got a whole lot happening. We got a full plate on our hands tonight. I got to add one more thing to the list here. That's the climate activists in New York City shutting down the major highways. Matter of fact, I think I'm going to start right there. That's probably a good intro topic to go ahead and introduce the show with. And before I start, actually, let's go ahead and talk about the sponsors, of course. Do that in the very beginning, and then we can get into the topics, of course. Shout out to me, my sponsors, ablmerch.com. We got all the hottest hats, t-shirts, stickers, hoodies, mugs, and more on the website, ablmerch.com. Check it out. Links will be in the box. We got a lot of brand new merch coming up really soon. If you have any ideas for merch, anything that you would like to see, you can email me at contact@anthonyblogan.com. That is ANTHONY, the letter B, LOGAN.com. Check it out. Email me whatever you got. I take some of your suggestions into consideration when I do certain things. If you guys don't know, I design all the shirts myself. So I think about an idea. If I get some time, I just think about it, design it, put it up, and then boom, you got a shirt, you got a hat, you got whatever you want. Again, ablmerch.com. And of course, anthonyblogan.com. One more time, Anthony B. Logan, ANTHONY, the letter B, LOGAN.com. I have all my original articles on that site. So whenever I do a video, I post the article in the description. I have sources from left, right, center, independent, and things I really couldn't put on the YouTubes will go on the website. Let's say, for example, it's a long video clip, it's an Instagram thing, it's a movie, whatever it is, I'll put that on the website. Things that YouTube might flag as copyright infringement, that'll all go on the website for the free. Again, anthonyblogan.com. And if you go to the contact page, I have all my social medias on there. I have my Instagram, my Facebook, my Twitter, etc. And also my email address, snail mail address, all that good stuff is on anthonyblogan.com. And of course, we have patriotpost.us, the best source of news and information anywhere on the internet. They've been around for a very long time, 25 plus years, out here local, Chattanooga, Tennessee. So shout out to Patriot Post, really good guys. A lot of good information on the website from a reasonable perspective. They're conservative guys, and they're not all about BS. They are really on it. So once more, patriotpost.us. Check them out right now, today, or whenever you get a little bit of free time. And of course, my guys that do the flags, you guys, I get emails every day almost. Hey, who does your flags in the back? Where can I get them? That's why I always repeat myself during the sponsors. You have bhedesigns.com. These flags that are behind me, or one of your very own, you can get those today or whenever you need it. bhedesigns.com. Check them out. They got small ones, big ones, in between, custom, prefab, whatever you want. They got it. One more time, bhedesigns.com. Check them out. And all my links will be in the description box below. Now, let's jump straight into it. We're going to get to Alec Baldwin. That's right. He needs to be red flagged. Yes, he does. We're going to get to that. So y'all just hang tight. Let's start first with the whole situation out there in the climate activists. That's right. The climate activists in New York City. Now, I just happened to be on the Twitters one morning, and I'm seeing that some highways in Manhattan have been shut down. Now, I'm not from New York. I don't know all about you guys' streets out there, but they shut down the FDR and the West Side Highway. So I suppose these are major arteries in New York City, because when I think about New York, I don't think about interstates and stuff like that. So there's probably limited real estate as far as like ground space to have a highway. So when you block the highways in the morning during rush hour traffic, that's a problem. You're stopping the city from being able to move. And this is all pretty much coordinated. And if you don't know, these climate activists, I think there was two groups, the Sunrise Movement and what was the other one? Sunrise Movement and Extinction Action Event. I don't know. Some group. But they were climate activist groups, and they shut down traffic. What they did was, from one angle I saw, it might have been on the FDR West Side Highway, they had 3 cars in front of traffic that all they stopped at the same time. They slowed down, came to a complete stop, and people got out of the car like a clown car, just kind of empty, right? They got out of the car, set up their little signs and whatnot, and then they proceeded to protest. They had like some kind of PVC pipe on them. I'm not sure. Yeah, thank you, Winston. Extinction Rebellion, that's the name of the group. So Extinction Rebellion and the Sunrise Movement. So they get out the car and they have some kind of PVC pipe on them. Matter of fact, let's get some visuals right quick so we can just see what's going on. What I'm going to say, there we go. New York City highway shut down for climate. And I'm not really sure what was linking them together aside from the pipe or whatever they had on their arms. I'm guessing some chains, but whatever it was, they're on the road blocking the highway. Now, here we go. Let's put it on the screen right quick. Give me 1 second and we'll get that rocking and rolling. All right, let's do it this way. Okay, there we go. So these guys were on the road. Now, this is right there in New York City. There's a banner in the background. It's kind of hard to see, but it says protect our future. Let me zoom in a little bit to get that in focus. Right there at the top, it says protect our future. And the banner right on the ground says our house is on fire. And you see right there, like, linked together with this pipe. It's black and blue and everything else. They got all these masks on. I mean, they got masks on, of course, because, you got to do that. Let's not worry about all this carbon we're breathing in by being on the interstate or on the highway with all these cars idling engines and just breathing in all these toxic fumes. Let's not worry about that. Let's keep our mask on like it's going to keep out anything. But anyway, they have this banner. They have the sign in the back. And their signs on their necks say, Biden, keep your promises. What's it say? Biden, lead or we drown. Enough is enough. So they are worried about climate changing. They have bought into the church of Al Gore and Greta Thunberg, thinking that they're going to sink to the bottom of the ocean if we don't stop producing carbon emitting cars. Like somehow the electric vehicles are better when you're talking about the carbon footprint. How much better are they? How much carbon does it take to produce these batteries? Are these batteries biodegradable? No. when you dispose of an EV, you pretty much just leave it in the big landfill. It does not decompose. It's just pretty much there. Same thing as one of those wind turbine blades. They don't decompose, and they do get disposed. It just lay giant like that in a landfill. So it's like, what are you be doing? I saw this video today that kind of sums up their little rebellion. I'll get back to that in a moment, but there was a video I saw from this UK channel, and it was so dumb. It was like, matter of fact, here it is. Okay, so I'm not sure what this was, like what the context was. Maybe you guys out there in UK know, or maybe you guys that watch UK TV or UK radio, listen to UK radio, understand what's going on. But the person, matter of fact, I can't really describe it. You guys just got to watch it. Let's put it on the screen and see if we can get some sound to go with it.
Morning, Mike.
Okay, let's do a bit more sound than that. That ain't really going to do it. This is Mike Graham interviewing someone. I guess it's a listener to the show.
Morning, Mike.
Oh, hello. What are you glued to, Cameron?
Just your screen, unfortunately.
Unfortunately. What do you do for a living,
Well,
Cameron?
I'm a carpenter.
A carpenter, right. So how safe is that for the climate?
See what I'm saying? So the man said he's a carpenter, and then the host is like, well, how is that safe for the climate? Like, why would you even ask that question? Are you trolling? But we continue.
Well, I work with timber, which is a much more sustainable material rather than concrete. I also
But you work with trees that have been cut down then, don't you?
It's a sustainable building practice.
How is it sustainable if you're killing trees?
Because it's regenerative, you can grow trees.
Right. Well, you can grow all sorts of things, can't you?
Well, you can't grow concrete.
You can.
Okay, so can you grow concrete? Is there a concrete farm? Can I go to the concrete farm tomorrow and pick some concrete? Can I put some concrete decorations in front of my house and put the live, laugh, love on it? Like, how many can you eat concrete? Is it edible? I mean, can you feed that to livestock? I mean, come on. But this is the mind state of a lot of these climate activists. They're ridiculous. And let's see how this whole thing plays out. You can grow concrete, allegedly. And the guy that's right there, it's an awkward silence because he's like, okay, I'm not even going to entertain that. I'm not going to sit here and argue with a guy that thinks you can grow concrete in his backyard.
See you, Cameron. Cheerio. That was Cameron. He grows trees and then cuts them down and then makes things from them. Brilliant. Marvellous. I don't think I ever want to talk to any of those people.
But I mean, I just don't understand. I don't really get it. It's like, you can grow trees. It's renewable. You know, it's regenerative. It's sustainable. You can actually grow it. It's like, okay, where are you even at right now, Mike Graham? Where are you living at? I mean, I'm sure that wherever he's at, it's either wood or steel. It's probably, I would say 99.9% made of wood. Or he lives in an entirely brick place that's not a brick facade. Whatever you got going on, you probably live in the wooden structure in some kind of way. So why say that it's wrong to cut down trees? You can literally grow them back. It reminds me of the whole thing about some of Al Gore's earlier takes back in the 90s. You guys that are right around my age, close to 40 or something like that, you know, if whether you have a full gray or a little specular gray, you remember Al Gore back in the early 90s, the ozone layer. Remember that? That was the funniest thing. I remember hearing about the ozone layer when I was a kid in school, like during my first block class. Remember that channel that would come on, Channel 1 News? It'd be kids talking about news in a very serious way, but at the same time, kind of halfway joking. And they're talking about the ozone layer. And they said, hey, you kids keep spraying the spray cans outside doing gang tags, you're going to make the ozone layer expand. If the ozone layer expands, you're going to get a really bad tan. That's what they say. You're going to get a sunburn. You don't get a sunburn if the ozone layer expands too much. Okay. Then they said recently that the one of these rockets that launched punched a hole in the ozone layer temporarily. So if you happen to be out that way in Florida, just right there in Florida, nowhere else, although the hole in the sky could send it anywhere, but anyway, it said that hole that was punched in the ozone layer can make people on the beach have a more severe sunburn if they're out there sunbathing. That talk has generally subsided from acid rain, the Amazon rainforest, the ozone layer, all of that. Now it's just climate in general. Now it's all about climate. Okay, so if it gets 1 degree hotter in a season, we're not worried about the sun changing or the earth going through a cycle or being different than what we know. Let's just say climate change caused it. And then, we can solve it. We can solve climate change. We can solve climate change by telling American citizens that we got to offshore jobs to China because it's too dirty to make here, right? It's too dirty, it's too filthy, it's too gross. Although all they're going to do is just make the same things in China and send that same CO2, that same dirty carbon footprint up in the same atmosphere in the same planet. So what's the point? They said 30% of California's pollution comes from China across the ocean, literally, like in the air and in the water. So I guess we're just pretty much offshoring pollution and offshoring so-called climate change. Although if it's about climate change, that same CO2 would affect all of us. It's so dumb. I think in a few more years, they talk about the next thing. They talk about, okay, if the polar ice caps are getting too big, they'll say we're going in the wrong direction. There's too much freezing going on. We're using too many batteries, not enough of carbon emitting cars. There's no balance anymore. It'll be the next thing. And Greta Thunberg, Al Gore, all these groups will make plenty of money off of it. At the end of the day, it's all about money. I said that before about Al Gore's house. Al Gore has or had a house with a utility bill of $30,000 a month, $30,000 a month in utilities, a bunch of money in natural gas, electricity, all that good stuff. But yet he'll tell you that you can't have that for yourself because your carbon footprint's too big. You can't have your 1,500 square foot house. You got to live in basically a cardboard box and walk wherever you got to go. If you got to walk 30 miles in the snow to get to work, then so be it. Meanwhile, Al Gore has private jets, big crazy mansion, ridiculous utility bills. You can't have that, though, because rules for thee, but not for me. I don't do that. That's for you peasants. That's for you peons on the ground. We don't do that thing that y'all do. But anyway, I digress. So I kind of got way off track on that one. I sure did. But what was I talking about? The shutdown. So back on the highway situation. I know how New Yorkers are. When you're talking about shutting down roads, shutting down sidewalks even. Like I've seen people, or I've heard stories about people going to New York City and they're walking on the sidewalk. If you don't walk fast enough, you're getting yelled at by a New Yorker. Hey, get out of the way. What are you doing over here? I'm trying to get my sandwich. I'm trying to get my mozzarella. You know, they screaming on you right away for being too slow on the sidewalk walking. So imagine what it is if you stop on the road in rush hour traffic in Manhattan. Oh, no. Guys were trying to fight, people getting out of their cars. I'm surprised somebody got ran over, but thankfully the police got out there and they were able to defuse it as soon as possible because that could have got really, really ugly as it has before. You know, luckily it wasn't at night and it was, kind of, how can I say, a slow traffic because we saw the situation that happened somewhere. It might have been Seattle, somewhere on the left coast, where they were on the ground at night with no lights on protesting and a car came around a blind corner speeding, or not speeding, going regular speed on a highway, ran right over them. Boom, vroom, boom, 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 boom. It's like, hey, how about don't be on the road at night with no lights on where you shouldn't be? It's simple. So luckily it wasn't that situation that happened and they were able to get people out of there safely. And as I was saying in my video, there should be a higher penalty for doing something like that. It shouldn't just be disorderly conduct. it should be kind of like you go to the penitentiary for doing something like that, for intentionally blocking the traffic, because you never know who's there trying to take a loved one to the hospital or anything of the sort. It could be a serious emergency and you blocking the road, preventing them from going from point A to point B. I saw this story, I think it was in Memphis or somewhere, where they were doing the whole block the road thing, and an ambulance was stuck for like 30 minutes. Now, I think whoever was in the ambulance was able to make it, but that could have been life or death. 30 minutes in the ambulance, wasted, trying to get around traffic. Nah, it just ain't really gonna, it ain't really gonna go. So nah, there needs to be a higher penalty for those that want to block the traffic on the road. But I'll move right along. Shout out to Dads on Duty in Louisiana. Shout out to these guys. Now, I did a story earlier this week about a bunch of dads, and I think it's in Shreveport, Louisiana. The school out there was so violent, they had over 20 arrests in a very short period of time. Arrests, like police coming to the school and arresting students for fighting. Now, I don't know about y'all, but I've seen a few fights in my day at school, and nobody got arrested. It wasn't even like that. It was a matter of, okay, you know, you get suspended, we'll tell your mom, you go home for a while, or whatever. That's what it was. It was never a thing about you got to go to the penitentiary. But now you got guys getting arrested. So I wonder how severe the fights were for kids to get arrested. But anyway, over 20 arrests in a very short period of time in one school for fighting. So there was like some head scratching going on. Like, what do we do? How do we fix all these fights? How do we fix this violence problem in our school? Well, a bunch of dads stepped up to the plate and said, okay, we're going to be dads on duty. We're going to go here and stop all the nonsense. And ever since they came in, which, you know, to be honest, it's been a very short period of time. It's been like 2 months. But you go from over 20 arrests in like a month or two to no fights at all in that same period of time. Now, part of it could be, and by the way, all the dads are black. Part of it could be that you got like a security force there, because a lot of these schools don't really have security. Not really. There may be a resource officer you may see every now and again, but it's not a lot of security. So when a fight breaks out, there's no one there to stop it. You see what I'm saying? There's somebody to de-escalate the situation. Fights just happen continuously. There's no real security. But with these dads on duty, I think it's like 40 of them so far. I don't think they're all at the school at the same time. They probably volunteer whenever they can, whenever they get some off time or whatever the case may be. But with the dads on duty at the school, it just kind of calms the environment down. A lot of these kids, I'm going to tell you this. A lot of these kids, was it all the dads in the school? It could have been, but anyway. A lot of these kids don't have any kind of structure at home. When there's no dads in the house and the mom is pretty much just doing whatever, there's no structure at home. So what ends up happening is the kids, especially the males, they go one or two directions. The males either become very soft and unable to do anything for themselves, and they kind of just skate by in life to the best of their ability, or they become like super thug, you know, feminine as well, because they can't control their emotion. They have no control over how they react. So you got the guys that want to shoot, bang, bang, kill everything in sight. It's because they don't have any control over themselves, no control over their emotion. Either way you go, a fatherless household creates men that are weak. Not all the time, obviously, not all, so don't nobody get offended, but it happens too much. This is why the incarceration rate is through the roof. They said like 80% of prison inmates came from a single parent household, usually run by the mother. So the fathers are very important. But having an older male presence there, you could do a lot for some of these kids. Now, some of the kids you can't really reach, and they got to go. They got to go to the penitentiary because you can't teach them. You can't reach them. If you're already 17 years old with 2 or 3 kids and you selling drugs and shooting and robbing and whatnot, we'll talk about selling drugs and whatnot and shooting and stuff in a little bit later in the show. But you can't really reach that person. You can't reach that kid. They are too far gone. They're going to do whatever they want to do. You can't have some guy that come in with a dad's on duty shirt and really change that. But some of the kids, when they 13, 14, right around that age, you're able to kind of reach them and get them in the right direction. So I think what the dad's on duty thing did was just kind of reinforce the need for fathers in the home to put a dent in the issues at home with the crime and the violence and the drugs and whatnot. It's very clear. But I think in order to have that consistently and not just have a group that has to come out there and volunteer their time, and I'm grateful for these men to go out there and volunteer their time. Shout out to them for making the difference. You know, a lot of guys say they want to do certain things and they don't do it, but these guys went out there and did it. So shout out to them for, number one, being a father, and number two, going to volunteer their time to help a school that's going through a bunch of nonsense while all the fighting. But the bigger way would be to have the dads to come back in the house. Welfare state's got to go. As long as the welfare state is there, these kids are going to continue to be born. A lot of them are born as like pawns to attack the other parent, as welfare checks, child support checks. It's crazy out there. It's totally crazy. You guys may have seen, I showed you that picture of the EBT card with like 20 grand in food stamp balance. Now, on that same EBT card, you also get other benefits. Child support goes on there a lot of times. So, I mean, the whole system is just messed up. When you expand the welfare state, when you expand the incentive for people to be single and have kids, you're going to have more of it. Okay, when you get earned income tax credit for each child, doesn't matter if you're working, not working, married, not married, there's an incentive to have kids. I've heard the conversation like, hey, I'm going to have X amount of kids, so I'm able to get paid. It's a selfish reason, not because you want to bring life into the world. It's because you want to be able to financially benefit from this life. Okay, so it's pretty crazy, but it is what it is. Yeah, bring back the dads, though. Shout out to all the dads out there. You guys do a great job. And shout out to the dads on duty out there in Louisiana and Shreveport, 1,000%. Yeah, take away the welfare. I would say no more. No more. The welfare state has got to go. And if it was me, if I could be a king and just rule by waving the magic wand, rule by fiat, you know what I would say? What I would say is that there's no more welfare at all. Everything. I don't care. Hey, man, if you're 80 years old, figure it out. But, I couldn't do that, obviously, because if you got somebody that's elderly, disabled, but if I was a king, I'd do that. You would have some hardships, but you would have an overall better society. If people thought they had to really work for what they have and there was no shortcuts, I tell you what, there will not be a push for illegal immigration. No legal immigration will be fought for because it wouldn't be no illegal alien fruit pickers and people that make beds, like Barack Obama said. It wouldn't be no fruit pickers and bed makers. You would have all Americans doing all that work. It wouldn't just be for, a quote unquote lower class coming in from the outside. We will all do that work and be able to rise more naturally. So you wouldn't have as many people dependent on the welfare benefits if everyone in America was incentivized to work more. The elderly would have kids that would help them, or they would have their own nest egg to be able to help themselves. It wouldn't be so much about this thing of lifelong dependency on external forces for your salvation, for your well-being. You see? So like I said, if I was a king, no more welfare, no more handouts, figure it out. If you want to have churches do stuff like that, that's cool. If you want to be just a good Samaritan and hand out some money to people, go ahead and do it. But I tell you what, though, if you want to be a good Samaritan, here's a pro tip for you, just real quick, just straight from me. If you see a person on the street begging for money, please don't give it to them. If you want to help them, give them a sandwich, give them a job if you got it, if they look like they could be a little helpful. But that's kind of sketchy too. What you don't want to do is give money. Don't do that. Because 9 times out of 10, you're talking about a dope fiend. That's just what it is. Sometimes it's not, but a lot of times it is. So if you want to help them, give them some food or something like that. Don't enable the problem that has us in a bad state right now. The drug addiction, the dependency upon others. Don't enable it. Don't do it. But I'll move on. You guys have been the best audience so far on the internet. So go ahead and give the video a thumbs up. like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. Yeah, don't give them money. I don't give anybody money. You know, I done heard some of the best stories from fiends on the street. Yeah, I lost my job. My dog left me and my kids ain't got nowhere to stay. It's like, look, man, you know, hey, tiniest violin. Tiny violin. You want something to eat or nah? You want this #1 from McDonald's? Nah? All right, well, have a good day, sir. I don't want that, man. I don't want that. You know, you get the outrageous people that kind of cuss you out for offering them food. If they do that, then they really didn't want anything. They wanted some drug money. Okay, that's what that is. But moving right along. What else we got? Talking about New York. Talking about Dad's on duty. Oh, talk about Chappelle right quick. Straight to Chappelle. Shout out to my main man, Dave Chappelle, for refusing to back down. Refusing to back down. I love it. I love it 100%. Matter of fact, can I play some of this? Now, Chappelle, there's a deeper story here than the original story. At first, the whole thing was about his special on Netflix, I guess, being too insensitive towards the LGBTQ LMNOP and really the trans community. But the question is, what was so offensive? How was it offensive? What did he say that was so just beyond bad? I don't really understand. He didn't do anything that was wrong. And if you watch the story, if you watch the special on Netflix called The Closer, he gave a heartfelt tribute to his friend that died, a trans comedian named Daphne Dorman. It was a heartfelt tribute. Like, he almost cried on stage. But it wasn't even enough. So at a certain point, it's like you can't really help these people. You want to be a comedian, tell jokes about everybody, and you gave him an olive branch. Like, hey, here's my olive branch to you. You know, a part of your community was a friend of mine. They were a great supporter, et cetera, et cetera. They were so great of a supporter. I gave him a shout out by name during my set. And I talked about how I had a connection with them and my personal experience that I shared with the whole world. The family loved it. Family said, hey, we support you, Dave Chappelle. Keep doing what you do. Speaking about Daphne Dorman's family, you know, not anybody else. There was a trans comedian, Flame Monroe, who looks really kind of crazy. But anyway, I digress. Who is a black trans person. That person came out and supported Dave Chappelle, said, hey, he could do whatever he wants. It's fine. I mean, nobody is really upset at Dave Chappelle. Not normies, not celebrity people. Nobody's really upset at Dave Chappelle. So the question is, who's mad at Chappelle? Really, what's the point in all this nonsense and hubbub? Well, as I was getting ready to say, he has a movie coming out. The Netflix specials are just one thing. That's his Netflix obligation. But there's a documentary coming out about how all these specials were made. Going back to the first one, which was the 846 about what was that? Michael Brown? Michael Brown. What's his name? You know what I'm talking about. Minneapolis, George Floyd. So it was about how all these specials started back during the virus time. So he wants it to be in movies and you go pay your money and watch it like a regular movie. But the producers don't want to touch it because he's too toxic now. You're anti-LGBT. You have a problem with the trans community. Your jokes are too offensive. You need to apologize. You need to pretty much bend the knee to us. So nobody wants to finance it. So the question is all this hubbub about the Netflix special being too offensive? Is it about that, or is it about money? Is it about them trying to block his movie coming up? Okay, so here's a little excerpt. I don't want to play the entire thing because it's kind of long. It's like 5 minutes. It's on his Instagram page, Dave Chappelle. Let's play a little bit of it right here. Let's get a little bit of sound and get rocking and rolling. Y'all hang tight. Okay, let's try that one more time.
It's been said in the press that I was invited to speak to the transgender employees at Netflix, and I refuse. That is not true. If they had invited me, I would have accepted it, although I am confused about what we are speaking about. I said what I said, and boy, I heard what you said. My God, How could I not? You said you want a safe working environment at Netflix. Well, it seems like I'm the only one that can't go to the office anymore.
Exactly. Let's pause right there for a minute. All these people coming out saying, oh, you're making it unsafe for us. We want a safer environment at Netflix. Well, why am I the only one that's being kicked out? Why am I the only one that's being targeted? Why am I the only one that's being made to like I'm doing something wrong? Why is it not a two-way street? Why can't we talk about it in a way rather than just I'm being punished by being kicked out of the office? Don't come to the office, Dave. They're mad at you. Why is it on me? You see what I'm saying? It's safe for y'all because I'm not there. So what's going on? Very good point. And by the way, this is an excerpt from the documentary coming up. So I presume he'll speak a lot more on all this cancel culture stuff during the documentary.
I want everyone in this audience to know that even though the media frames this, that it's me versus that community, that is not what it is. Do not blame the LGBTQ community for any of this shit.
Sorry for the cussing. Not my fault. Blame the black man this time.
It has nothing to do with them. It's about corporate interests and what I can say and what I cannot say. For the record, and I need you to know this, everyone I know from that community has been nothing but loving and supporting. So I don't know what all this nonsense is about. In summer 2020, when the whole world shut down, I was outside.
So right here, he's talking about the movie and the whole George Floyd thing and how the movie came to be. He was filming the making of all the comedy specials, and a lot of celebrities came out there. So it'll probably be conversations between him and the celebrities and all the behind the scenes things that you didn't see in the specials. So it's going to be a good movie. Let's kind of go forward a little bit here.
Invited to every film festival.
Oh, here we go.
This film that I made was invited to every film festival in the United States, and some of those invitations I accepted. And when this controversy came out about the closer, they began disinviting me from these film festivals. And now, today, not a film company, not a movie studio, not a film festival, nobody will touch this film. Thank God for Ted Sarandos at Netflix. He's the only one that didn't cancel me yet.
So that's really what it's about, in my humble opinion. It's not even about the LGBTs. It's not even about nothing like that. It's about, hey, we're going to cancel him in a different way. We know that he has an issue with the LGBTs in their mind, although he doesn't really, because he speaks about the LGBTs in a forbidden way, I guess you would say. Then he's a bad person. We got to get him out of here. He has a movie coming out. Let's cancel that movie. He's on Netflix. He has this deal, whatever. Okay, let's make it hard for him to get that movie out. That's the ultimate play. That's what it's really about. So it's not even about nobody being offended necessarily as far as regular normies. It's about those in power trying to maintain their power. And the way they can do that is by bullying you to acquiesce to whatever they want you to know. Now, Dave Chappelle has a lot of power, a lot of pull. So what he's going to do for the documentary is screen it in different cities. Now, I'm sure these dates are already pretty much sold out, but it's going to be San Francisco, Minneapolis, Des Moines, Indianapolis, Cleveland, Toronto, Cincinnati, Columbus, ATL, and New York City. And these are all in the month of November, and in that order from the 4th to the 22nd. So they're probably already sold out right now, but you might be able to get a ticket depending upon where you want to travel or where you live. But I definitely want to go somewhere, one of these, and just experience the whole situation for sure. I might even go to Crackheadville, aka San Fran, to watch it if I have to. Keeping it all the way real. gotta watch my back and figure out not how to get hit by them dope things out there. I'll be good to go. But anyway, we'll keep on moving. So yeah, Dave Chappelle, shout out to you, man, for not backing down. I know it can be difficult dealing with that community. Not necessarily just all people who are in the community as far as their orientation. I'm talking about the people that have power, those that run a lot of these industries, Hollywood and music and stuff like that. I've heard stories about Hollywood pretty much being 50% LGBT or more. And if it's not that, it may be that and some as far as those in power. Meaning, you may have 50% LGBT, but how many of them are actually in power? You got 50% LGBT and powerful LGBT. So when you come against them in any kind of way, nope, can't have that. We're the ones in power. We're going to keep it. You stay over there. That's what that is. Yeah, the LGBs are cool, but the T's, they got to, on me. Matter of fact, you can be whatever you want to be. I don't have to agree with it. I don't have to participate in that lifestyle. That's whatever you want to do. But I think the problem is with the people in power. Just like a lot of your normie people that vote Democrat, I don't really have an issue with them personally, because I know a lot of them, they're not really, a lot of the normies don't know about politics. All they think is Trump bad, Republicans bad, I'm going to vote Democrat. They don't really know. They're ignorant. And that's okay to be ignorant, because not everyone knows everything. Now, I wish they would not be ignorant and learn, but I can't reach everybody on planet Earth. So I'm not really mad at your average, everyday, normie Democrat who happens to vote that way. They might vote every 4 years at best, or they may not vote at all. They have a certain ideology they cling to that's probably not based on a lot of education. Just keeping it all the way real. So them, I have no issue with. But I have an issue with your Nancy Pelosi's and your Chuck Schumer and people like that, your AOCs, those who are in power, those who know better, those who are changing laws and whatnot to affect us on an everyday basis. That's my actual issue, is with those that know better and choose to not do better, and those that are in power that are doing badly. It's simple. And that would go to those that I may have voted for as well. It's like, okay, if I voted for you and you're not doing a good job, you get criticized as well. It's not even a left-right thing. But I digress. So, yeah, shout out to my main man, Dave Chappelle. I like to see where this goes. I like to see if there's going to be an addendum, an added piece to the documentary. Is he going to put like a whole new section in there before the release date? Like how Kanye does with the mixtapes. The mixtape or the album is about to be due on March 3rd. On the 2nd, he's still doing tracks. I want it to be like that. And keep adding stuff as you go along. Do a podcast or something, Dave Chappelle. I need consistent content from you, not just these little piecemeal specials. But I'll move on. And if he does a podcast, I can say that I told him to do it. He watched ABL Live and he heard me say, get a podcast, and he did it. So I'm taking credit for that right now. Anyway, so the whole Alec Baldwin thing continues. It continues. Now, this situation, you know what? I'm gonna just chill for a minute. When the whole thing happened with Alec Baldwin, I said, hey, you know what? God don't like ugly. God does not like ugly. And this is probably why the whole thing with Alec Baldwin happened. Because what are the odds of you shooting and killing somebody on the movie set with a so-called prop gun? Which it wasn't, by the way. I mean, I'm not sure why they call it a prop gun. Ain't no prop guns. It was a real gun that was supposed to have blank ammunition, not live, ready to kill you, boom, boom, bang, bang, Full Metal Jacket ammunition. Anyway, it's not a prop gun. It's a Colt 45 revolver. But I said God does not like ugly because Alec Baldwin is the kind of guy that would attack you for being conservative. He would attack a lot of these gun owners, regular people. I like to see you doing all that attacking, talking about you guys want to have all your guns, all this, that, and the third, and you go kill somebody on set. But I know that this was still his fault, but there's much more to it. No, Alec Baldwin did not go get a gun and shoot somebody on purpose from what we know so far. Yes, it was given to him, and he didn't know it was loaded with a live round. However, the whole thing is his fault because he's the boss of the situation, right? So put it to you like this. If I go to a restaurant, right, and I fall in the bathroom and break my head open, I can sue you for damages, correct? Now, if I go to a movie set and I'm part of the crew, and I'm part of the original crew, because there were two different crews that worked on the movie as far as I know. The first crew were LA professionals. They get there and it's not being run very well. It's very dangerous. Bad working conditions, dangerous conditions. And the crew's like, all right, check it out. We have demands here. We need to get a better working environment, safer conditions, or we're going to walk. And the crew wound up walking. Not all the crew, but the majority of the crew. They walked. Now, when the crew came back to get their belongings, they found out they had been replaced by local people in New Mexico. Now, I'm not sure if it was part of a union that does movies like this or what, but they were locals. There was not the LA crowd that was out there doing that. So the question is, were the new people, what they call them, the scabs, were they as good as those that were not there, who had all the problems, who kept saying that there was problems on this movie is kind of on a shoestring budget, not really put together properly, haphazard, sloppy, dangerous, and you're dealing with a Western, right? You're dealing with a Western, and you got guns. You have real guns that should have blank ammunition, but yet it's still, it's janky. It's just not right the way it's operating. And on set, they were talking about Brandon Lee and how there could be a Brandon Lee tragedy on the set before the shooting happened. If you don't know, Brandon Lee was Bruce Lee's son. May they rest in peace. And Brandon Lee was shot and killed on the set of a movie called The Crow in 1993 with a so-called prop gun. Now, I forget what happened with the whole situation, like how he got shot. Was it a live round? Was it a blank? I don't know exactly what happened. But either way it goes, he was shot and killed with a so-called prop gun as well in 1993. They were talking about how you can have another Brandon Lee tragedy soon. But nobody did anything. They replaced the crew that was complaining. One guy was going to be the armorer, meaning he was going to be the one to hand out the weapons. One guy was going to do that. But when he saw all the red flags on the set, how dangerous it was, bad working environment, bad conditions, rushed, slapdash, just kind of, put together with shoestring and glue and stuff like that. You're like, you know what? Okay, there's too many red flags right here. There could be a tragedy that unfolds on this set. I'm gonna back away. I'm not going to do this. If Alec Baldwin would have had everything together and it wasn't so just janky the way it was, then he probably could have taken that job. He could have been on the set, but he wasn't because of how janky the whole operation was. So he's not there. And then they bring in Thel Reed's daughter, 24-year-old daughter, who had just graduated college. His daughter, I think her name is Hannah Rodriguez Reed. His daughter is like a TikTok type girl. You understand what I'm saying? Different color hair, doing dances and whatnot. Now, nothing against any of these TikTok girls. I'm just saying, do I want a 24-year-old TikTok girl on the set of a movie dealing with guns to make sure that I'm handed a gun without live ammunition in it? Do I want that on my set with minimal experience? I think she did like one movie before. She got cussed out by Nicolas Cage by giving her, I think it was a live weapon, or she shot a weapon on set she shouldn't have. She also gave a 9-year-old a gun with a live round in it, but luckily it was caught before anything happened, so the 9-year-old didn't get hurt with this gun with the live round in it. But this person had a lot of problems already in a very short period of actually working on Hollywood movies. I think the reason why she was there is because she's Thel Reed's daughter. Thel Reed is a very well-known Hollywood marksman. He trained Brad Pitt. Thel Reed has a good name, and I think that she was banking off of Thel Reed's name. She's probably Hannah Rodriguez, but adds on the read to become more marketable, like Tracy Ellis Ross. Her name is Tracy Silverstein. Where does the Ellis Ross come from to become more marketable? Right? That's what it's about. All right. So at the end of it, the 24-year-old hands the weapons to the director, assistant director, or whatever. Now, that guy gives the weapon to Alec Baldwin and says, cold gun, meaning it's not loaded with any live ammunition. It's good to go. So apparently he was, quote unquote, rehearsing. Not sure what that means. I'm hearing different stories. It's talking about it could have been rehearsal or it could have been he was just horsing around, right? So during so-called rehearsal, Alec Baldwin shoots the gun toward the camera. Now, it just so happened that the young lady who passed away, I forget her name, pardon me. I don't want to say her name wrong. Let me see. It wasn't Hannah Gutierrez. It was Helena Hutchins. There we go. Helena Hutchins. She's a cinematographer. She was shot and killed by one bullet. The bullet went through her. Again, you got a Colt 45 revolver. The bullet went through her and then hit the director, Joe Sousa, in his shoulder. He lived. He got surgery. He was okay. They took the bullet out and said, okay, that's a live round. And the bullet is now in Quantico, Virginia at the FBI, at the Federales, so they can look at it. So somebody going to the penitentiary, big rocks, little rocks, behind all this. Because, number one, why are there any live rounds on the set of the movie? There's no purpose to having live rounds. There's no need for the live rounds. I want somebody to try to tell me, like I'm 5 years old, the reason why you got to have live rounds on a set like this. Are you going to shoot through a target? Are you going to shoot through a window? Can you not simulate the effect of a shot going through a window or what? Like, why do you have live rounds on the set? Well, they were shooting beer cans. Beer cans? They were plinking beer cans in between takes. So I guess that means the armorer, Hannah Gutierrez, Reed, and some of the crew, they were plinking. The Federales or local police said they found 500 rounds of ammunition, live and blank, mixed together. So it was easy for them to just throw the live round in there, hand it off, and not care about it, or have the live round in there from the plinking time when they were shooting beer cans and not thinking about it. Now, it's a revolver. All you got to do is open the revolver, open it up, empty it out, look at it. What are we doing? You have speed loaders. Have you seen those? You could put all your, with a revolver, you could put all your bullets in the loader and just go boom. There's no need to go boom, boom, like one by one with a revolver if you don't want to. You could do a speed loader. I know Thel can do it. I think I've seen him do that before on a YouTube video. Load it like that and you'll be good to go. So there's no excuse to have this happen. The only reason why it happened is because of negligence. They're out there plinking beer cans. And then a good question was raised about the beer cans. It's like, okay, if you plinking beer cans, are you drinking them before you plink them? Now, if you're drinking on set and shooting guns, now you definitely for sure going to the penitentiary, because obviously when you're drinking, your judgment is impaired. So you can easily you can easily incorrectly load a weapon if you load it while you've been drinking, or you can forget to unload it after you get done plinking. If you're drinking, you a little buzzed or whatever. It's just like drinking and driving. Okay, you think you're great, you're not really doing that bad. All of a sudden, here come a tree, and you can't escape it, or another car coming like this head on, and you can't escape it. That's kind of the same thing dealing with guns. You can't be drunk trying to shoot no gun or drinking and nothing like that. So somebody's going to the penitentiary, and you know what? All of this, in my humble opinion, was caused, and that's definitely a felony, Colston, definitely a felony for sure. But all this was caused by Alec Baldwin not being a good producer or whatever his title is. It was his movie. He's the boss. He has final say. The employee said that it's not safe. Something bad could happen. We're warning you over and over again. He doesn't listen. He lets them leave. He replaces them. And the cries of lack of safety continue. There's all kind of problems. Your armorer is straight green, brand new. Already had issues on other sets. The armorer was on a podcast last month talking about how she was not comfortable loading blank ammunition into a weapon. Her dad had to teach her and coax her and get her to really load the weapon properly. Now, if you got to do all that, and you said that last month, why are you on a set of a movie right now, loading weapons, knowing you don't feel comfortable doing it? I think it's because of her father and his name, not because she has a name. She has a name that is synonymous with messing up, with accidental discharges and shooting when she shouldn't shoot. So I think there's going to be some jail time here. There's definitely some jail time. I'm not really sure who get the jail time for how long, but somebody going to the penitentiary for sure. Alec Baldwin, we'll see. We're definitely going to see. But the federales or local police out there in New Mexico said that, hey, all charges are on the table. All charges are on the table. There's nothing that is taken off the table. You can go to jail for whatever. But we're going to see here for sure. We are going to see. Now, did I get everything? Oh, speaking about Anthony Fauci, lying yet again. Why does anybody believe Anthony Fauci, huh? Why does anybody believe Anthony Fauci? Oh, and before I get to Anthony Fauci, I heard there was something about Helena Hutchins working on the movie to expose Hollywood criminals dealing with kids. I won't say the P word or the Edo word or the foul word, but you kind of understand what I'm talking about. I'm not sure if that's true or false. I've not been able to verify that yet, so I can't say that's 100% correct, but I have heard about that. I'm going to look into it and let you guys know when I found out. If you guys have any information about that particular thing, Helena Hutchins being involved with a movie, exposing the Hollywood rings, y'all let me know on my email. And that email is contact@anthonyblogan.com. But anyway, back to your man, your favorite so-called Dr. Anthony Fauci. Right away, first things first, do you know that he's been around since the 80s in the same job, 1984? I was born in 84. So if Anthony Fauci's career was a person, it'd be my age, almost 40. You understand what I'm saying? In that one position as the NIAID director. Now, NIAID, that's the National Institute of Allergies and Infectious Diseases. He was put there in the 80s during the HIV/AIDS crisis. Now, you guys tell me, on a scale of 1 to 10, how well did Anthony Fauci do on the HIV/AIDS crisis? Because the 80s, the 90s were crazy for HIV/AIDS. It was just a total mess. And quiet as kept. It's still bad right now. You know, they want to point Magic Johnson and say, Magic Johnson, he's okay. Anybody going to die? HIV/AIDS is still a very high leading cause of death for Black men, white men, Hispanics. Do you know that 1 out of every 2 gay Black men will catch HIV? 1 out of every 4 gay Hispanic men will catch HIV in the U.S. in their lifetime? 1 out of every 2, 50%, half. Hispanics, 1 out of every 4, 25% will catch the house in Virginia. Okay? They will catch it. So did he do well during HIV/AIDS time? I don't think so. So the question is, why is he still there right now dealing with the latest virus that's upon us? Because quiet as kept, there's still more than one virus, right? You still got the H that Fauci did not do well on in the 80s. Now you got the COVID. You got that going on. Has he done a good job with the virus or not? He flip-flops so much. It's like, is this Ringling Brothers Barnum and Bailey Circus? Is this Universal Circus? What's going on here, sir? You are a whole acrobat. You are Simone Biles. All these flip-flops and whatnot is crazy. He said first, don't wear the mask. It won't protect you. It won't help you. Then he said, wear the mask. It's common sense. It'll protect you. It'll help you. Then he said, wear 2 masks. It's common sense. It'll help you. It'll protect you. Now we know that these masks don't really work like that. Then they say, get the vax. Get 1 shot. It'll help you. Get 2. It'll help you. Get a booster. I saw today on the news, they're talking about another booster. Another one. Not the first, not the third shot. A 4th shot. It's like, all right, y'all just said the 3rd one was okay. You talking about a 4th one? I mean, at a certain point, am I going to get a shot every day? Am I going to be a fiend? What's going on here? How about I don't want to do that, so I'm not going to do it? And then the question is, Anthony Fauci or anyone else, if you get all these shots, at what point are you fully vaxxed versus not fully vaxxed? Because the first criteria was you got to have 2 shots to be fully vaxxed, right? 2 shots if it was called for you to get 2 shots at once, meaning 2 shots of the Moderna, the Pfizer, AstraZeneca, or 1 shot J&J. Now they say you got to have the booster. Then another booster on top of that booster. How many boosters and vaccines and shots and pills must we take before we fully vaxxed? Asking for a friend. I'm not going to get vaxxed. If you want to, more power to you. Okay? I will never say don't do it. That's your decision to make, right? Just like if you're a male and you change your name to I Love Lucy. Fantastic. Good on you, sir. And your husband named Ricky Ricardo. Y'all working in the candy factory. Y'all go back to the 1950s. Everything you own is in black and white. Fantastic. Good on you. But check it out, though. At the end of the day, what it is still what it is. You can't create some kind of fantasy world and make that be reality. I'm kind of going on a rabbit hole. But anyway, how many shots must it take to become fully vaxxed? Y'all tell me. I want to know. And why is Anthony Fauci still in this position? But anyway, I got way off the track. I'm going to try to get back on. I'm trying my best. So going back to the whole thing about the, about, what was that? About Fauci. Oh, about the gain of function research. So he's been in NIH for a long time. And Rand Paul was bringing to the table, calling him out about gain of function research. Because NIH is a subgroup of NIH. There are 27 groups under NIH. 27. Now, surely you're able to kind of consolidate some of that. I mean, really, 27 groups under NIH. Surely some of these guys are not really doing a whole lot. They're kind of sitting back, twiddling their thumbs. If Anthony Fauci has time to be on TV every 5 minutes, what work is he doing? You tell me. If you got time to be going on every interview, all the videos, if you got time for all of that, where's your work at? He's 80 years old on top of that. What are you even doing anymore? You are Nancy Pelosi. You are Ruth Bader Ginsburg. You just pretty much coasting at this point, talking whenever you got time to talk. Obviously, you can close your department. You're not doing that much. Anyway, the NIH funded gain of function research in Wuhan, China. They funded it through EcoHealth Alliance. Yeah. This was a grant from NIH. EcoHealth gave the Wuhan lab money to conduct experiments on coronaviruses to make them more potent, more deadly, and more transmissible. That was the research. So obviously what happened was they were doing the research. One of the bioweapons basically got out. It escaped. It hurt everybody in Wuhan first. We saw the videos online back 2 years ago. People were falling out, coughing out blood. It was a crazy mess. We saw that happen 2 years ago, back 2019. Then, rather than cutting off travel, they came over here to the U.S. and Europe. It went to Italy. There's a direct flight from Wuhan to Italy. That's why they got hit really hard, because the lab is right there. The virus escaped, hurt Wuhan people first. They were sick, came to Italy, spread it there. They were sick, came to the U.S., spread it here. Now the whole world has it. That makes sense. Fauci's still trying to say that it came from a bat. I mean, stop, man. Look, you have a coronavirus lab right there. And everybody knows how haphazard China is. They don't really care about their safety protocols. There is no protocol for safety or construction or anything like that. They pretty much do whatever they want to do, right? So we all know that it escaped right there. And the U.S. funded it through NIH, Eco Health Systems or Alliance, and then Wuhan. And now we all have it. And then on top of that, Anthony Fauci's direct group, NIAID, funded the Beagle mutilation research. And I can't post pictures here. I don't even really want to describe it like that because it was pretty gross. But they were testing beagles for what? I don't know. But they were like putting their heads in a box and making flies chomp on them. It was crazy. It was they cut their cords so they couldn't bark. And they paid money to a lab in Tunisia to do that. And the reason why they paid the money to a Tunisian lab is because they could not have that experiment over here. They exported morality. If you do that here in the States, it's kind of bad, right? It's bad to do it anywhere, but let's say that happened in Atlanta or somewhere or in New York. It wouldn't fly here in the States if that was to get found out. But it was not done here. It happened in Tunisia. So it's like whatever. It's kind of like China when they're eating dogs and whatnot. Well, that's China. But the reality is that we pay for it from our own taxpayer money to happen. We funded it through the NIAID, through the NIH, and that's why we're here today. So when Rand Paul was grilling Anthony Fauci, and Fauci's like, oh, no, we didn't do it. Well, I can't tell. It looks like you're lying. The NIH admitted to funding Alliance Systems, Eco Health Alliance, and then they funded Wuhan for the gain of function research. That's why we have this thing that is spread throughout the world, and it's changed the world in many different ways. So we'll see. Yeah, the whole thing with the Beagles was crazy, and Fauci did that. Now, my question is going to be, you know how the media does. They will love you for a long time. They loved Michael Avenatti for a nice little time. He had a nice little run on the news. He was on every station. They're talking about run for president. They were gassing them up. You're the best. We love you. Gassing them up. And then as soon as the whole thing with Nike came and all this extortion, all these problems came about, they were like, nope, we're not going to do that anymore. Bye-bye, Michael Avenatti. We're not going to have you anymore. That'd be pretty much it. They dropped him. Same thing with Anthony Fauci. All these TikTok girls talking about how much they love Fauci. They got a crush on Fauci, all this and that and the third. They're not going to be around. They're not going to be around when the media dump him. When the media say he's toxic and he's not a viable person to hitch their wagon to, he won't be around anymore. Ain't no more use for him now. It's just like whatever. You kind of just in the way, we'll go a different direction. That is what's happening, in my humble opinion, with Anthony Fauci. But we'll see. See how long it takes for him to no longer be relevant, to no longer be on the news anymore, to not get all these interviews and whatnot about what's happening in the world. It won't take long, because once you get this kind of stain on you, the media will drop it like a bad habit. I can never even exist it. That's kind of what's going on here. All right. Did I get everything? I think I did. So I'm going to get to the super chats here. Thank y'all for being here. Definitely appreciate you guys. If you enjoy what you are hearing so far, go ahead and get the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. Alina says, Peter's going after Fauci. Go get him. Hey, I say go ahead. And Peter, I don't like. Peter are organized in Norfolk, Virginia. And I see them a lot. Well, I saw them a lot when I was there. And they're hilarious. Peter talking about all this animal stuff. We love animals, whether on the land and the water. But their headquarters is right there on the river. Like literally on the river. You got to pass a bridge to go right past their headquarters on the left. Like if you're coming from Norfolk, like the southern part, and you're going toward like Lambert Point, ODU, it's a bridge and the trolley right there that goes across. they're right on the river. So there's plenty of aquatic life that has been disrupted by PETA being right there on the river. But anyway, if PETA are really about their business, then they would go after Anthony Fauci. But if they're not, if they're politically driven, which they are politically driven, but if they're not really about trying to save the animals, all this and that, then they're not going to do nothing with them. And there's no in between. Period. Thank you, Jersey Diggs. I appreciate you. Jersey Ray Diggs, I appreciate you for being a lifelong follower. Thank you. Not lifelong, but a long time follower. You know what I meant. Thank you, though. Was there a fishing party outside of Peter's office? Really, Bob? Wow. I wouldn't doubt it because it's right there. It's right there on the river. It's right there in the water. So you could fish right there. Ain't no problem. You could fish from their window. I'm talking about, matter of fact, let me see if I can pull it up. Because I've been over there a lot. I used to go to school right there at ODU. So I've been that way a whole lot. EVMS is right there too. And the funny part is that PETA is right across from where Ralph Northam, the blackface governor, worked at when he was a doctor, EVMS. Well, actually, when he was in medical school. Now, check it out. Hold on. Let me see if I can see this right quick. So PETA is right there. You see that? Right there. Right on the water. Right off Brambleton, Smith Creek, Elizabeth River. The tunnel's right there. EVMS, Ralph Northam. You go up here. ODU, I went to school at before. Let's see if we can get a street view so you can see it a little bit better. On the bridge. See, that's a bridge right there. And then there's PETA. Right there. I'm like, literally, you can go outside and fish right there in the river. Yep. There's a train to go right there in between the tracks. You see the top part for the electric train. Yep. So all this about, we love the aquatic life, all this and that, man, whatever. Please stop. Please stop. Stop with the games. Stop the cap, as the cool kids say. But anyway, super chat show on deck. Let me get to those right quick. The number to call is 434-658-1220. Again, 434-658-1220. And PETA is in Norfolk, Virginia. Norfolk, VA. You can search for it right now. PETA headquarters, Norfolk. It'll pull it right up. So yeah, shout out to them. Hey, you know what? If you want to go fishing, go to PETA. You know, that'd be funny if there was a fishing protest right there. I was like, what you gonna do? You right here in the water anyway. The fish are right here, so I'm saving the fish from you guys. Okay, and then let's go ahead and get into it. Hold on. Day 27th. Shout out to. Hold on. Thank you to Apple, who says ABL favorite Seinfeld character, favorite SNL character. I was not really a big Seinfeld guy when I was a kid. I watched some of the clips later. I liked Curb Your Enthusiasm as I got to be an adult because I saw that like as an adult, but I didn't really watch Seinfeld that much. So I'm not really sure. Kramer, no, I'm playing. SNL, again, I didn't really watch a lot of SNL either. I that wasn't really my wave. I like Chris Farley though. I saw some of the clips of Chris Farley, the man down by the river. Chris Farley was hilarious for no reason. Just he'd make you start crying. He was so funny. So yeah, R.I.P. Chris Farley. The character, the man down by the hilarious. Apple also says Mr. Obama says that Bruce Springsteen fans applaud Clarence Clemens when he's on stage. But then they call him the N-word in the bar, and Springsteen agrees. Disgraceful Bruce throws fans under the bus. It makes no sense. It's like, why would you applaud somebody on stage, appreciate their craft, and then attack them? It made no sense. Thank you for tea. We lit. Yeah, but I got to see that, though. I think I saw Tatum do a video about that. It might have been that same situation when he was on stage. Maybe it wasn't. I don't know. But Bruce Springsteen, I mean, that's crazy. Why would you say that about your own fans? And how can you really know that? It's dumb. If I didn't like somebody, why would I pay money to go see him? All right. Let me see. The anti-view says, quote, prop gun is not a real thing unless it's plastic fake. A gun with blanks is a real gun with blanks. The Crow was a bad blank situation. Apu says, pray for J6 MAGA patriots in solitary in DC jail. That's right. Buffers Windshield says, new shirt, hands up, don't shoot, but with a ball holding the gun. Apu says, the world now knows who Ray Epps is. Federale who entrapped MAGA into storming the Capitol. Tucker did the story. You see Revolver article, ABL. Now, I saw something about Ray Epps a little while ago. I saw there was a video where people went to his estate. His estate. Matter of fact, hold on. Let's pull it out right quick. So, again, shout out to Ross the Red Pill on the Twitters coming through right in the clutch. So this is him right here, allegedly, right? If you can't see this, the caption says, alleged federal informant Ray Epps confronted by 2 American patriots about his inciting of violence on January 6th. Remember that guy? I may have showed that video. Maybe I didn't. He was like, yeah, let's go inside the Capitol. He was like so obvious, sore thumb type obvious. You a federale instigator, what's going on? Now, I've not seen Tucker's video about it, but I'm gonna look into it. I maybe do a video about this tomorrow if I get more information, but let's check it out right quick to see what's going on. Hopefully we won't have too much sound.
With pure politics, I've been trying to get a hold of you. We met January 5th.
We're patriots. We're patriots.
Well, do you remember me from January 6th?
I understand that, but I can't say anything.
Are you still under investigation by the FBI?
Are you a federal informant?
Is there a reason why the FBI took you off the most wanted list?
Are you a federal informant, Ray Epps?
Now he's on his estate with a golf cart. I'm not sure what you call that. It's like 8 seats on the golf cart. You got a whole stretch cart.
Are you a federal informant? That's Ray Epps, alleged federal informant, driving into his property.
So what's going on here? I'm gonna look into this. The guy looks like he's a politician, straight up. You put him in the suit, he'd be fit right in DC. So I don't know what's going on, but if there's a story about Tucker Carlson, covering this, I'm going to do a video. If there's more, like, is he a federal informant? Is he a federale, or what's going on? Supersized golf cart, stretch golf cart, yeah. 100, a limo golf cart, hilarious. All right. But let me go back to, hold on. Y'all give me a second. I gotta tighten up. Back to my super chats. So yeah, I'm gonna look into that. Apple says, shout out to feds who instigated J6 at Capitol. God's justice is coming. Repent and believe the good news. Defund the FBI. Too many plots. If sea levels are going to rise and flood the streets, why did Mr. Obama buy a $17 million mansion in Martha's Vineyard, which is beachfront property? Because they know that it's not really going to go anywhere. They know that it's just a grift. They know the whole climate change thing ain't nothing but a way to make money at the end of the day. Because if you just whittle it down to what it's really for, it's about trying to get some money, period. They know that, but they don't want you to know that because they want you to just be a good little American and just be quiet. Apple also said, shout out to at G family second anniversary of Bat Daddy meeting the 72 versions. Shout out to Delta Force and Conan the Dog. Hope she's good. Thank you, President Trump. Shout out to Bluegrass Patriot for being the 9-month member. I appreciate you, boss. Who says it's all a big money grab. You know it. Shout out to Tyrannius who says acid rain was talked about in the 80s, I believe. I remember that. Acid rain, that was a big thing. Acid rain, ozone layer, Amazon rainforest. That was the talking points back then. But now you're talking about ice caps melting and it's hot. If it's hot one day, it's climate change. If it's cold one day, it's climate change. I mean, be creative. Give me a cartoon of the Empire State Building melting because of acid rain, or the Statue of Liberty, like ice cream cone melting because of acid rain. Don't give me this whole thing about it's hot, so there's climate change. That's not very creative. Thank you to Apple, who says Ice Age, ozone, acid rain, greenhouse effect, all hoaxes. I remember the greenhouse effect. Oh wow. He also says, ABL, what do you want to be when you were a kid? A cop? When I was a kid, I wanted to be a scientist. I wanted to just figure out the way things work and look more into it. So I guess I kind of did that a little bit, trying to figure out the way things work, but not quite the way I thought it was before. And you know what? The funniest part is that now I get to debunk some of these so-called scientists on TV that went to school to be a scientist, but ain't nothing but political hacks. Anthony Fauci. Apple also says, if you're not a YouTube star, what job would you be doing? I don't know. I don't know about a star, but thank you for that. My goal when I was like in my early 30s was to be a firefighter, because I've been a graphic designer, but I wasn't making a lot of money like how I wanted to. Toward the end of me doing that full time, in the beginning it was really good, but during the Obama years it was different. So I wanted to be a firefighter, but then this took off. Like my plan was to do my graphic design on the side, YouTube on the side, and to be a full-time firefighter. You get benefits, paid time off, work 9 days a month. I had the whole thing planned out. My dad was a firefighter. It was going to be an easy shoe-in. They wanted black men. I had the whole thing planned, which is why when I hear about black men talking about, oh, I can't get a job, I don't get no, man, please, you can get a job just by being black a lot of times, because there's all kind of little quotas out there. Game the system. If you need some money legally, game the system. I ain't talking about like sitting on your hind parts and don't do nothing. But if you want to work, there are people that are trying to get you. Go out there and take advantage of it. It's simple. But anyway, MEV says, honestly, ABL, what is the point of prosecution anymore? A criminal could say he has mental health issues, go to a facility for a year just to repeat. Well, it depends on the situation. It depends on where you are in the country, I suppose. If you live in New York City, then God bless you, because it's going to be hard to get anybody locked up over there. You gotta kill somebody in front of the mayor to get locked up over there. And you still might get out on ROR with no bail. The anti-view says, I agree. Update on my arsonist. He just got his 10th civil commitment. Well, hopefully he stays civilly committed for a long time and not just, a day or two. All right. Let me see. Terania says, King ABL, you know what time it is? No more welfare. Exactly. Blast Radius, great name, by the way, says, alphabet weirdos, cry bullies. They lie about being weak, but they really have a lot of power, especially the media. 1,000%. Absolutely. They got all the power. Magamaniac, shout out to you for the donation. 8-month member says, go Brandon. Is that a dance emoji? David White says, proper gun etiquette. You always check the safety on a firearm. Why was there a firing pin in his firearm anyways? Nonetheless, he did kill her guilty. Well, they want to fire it, but they didn't want it to be a live round. They wanted there to be blanks in the weapon, but there was not a blank. There was a live bullet in there, and it unfortunately killed someone. Macamaniac, thank you for your donation. It's like you doing like that. The anti-view says Halloween 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. No one ever shot. Maybe don't practice your quick draw in front of people. There you go. Thank you, Macamaniac, again for your donation. Thank you to Lance a lot for being a member 11 months. Says exactly. Macamaniac again for your donation. Thank you for that. Thank you to David White, who says A.G. Garland equal Hunter Biden unqualified for his job. The anti-view says Fauci's lies killed numerous LGBT and minority people with his HIV lies. and who was dying from COVID by race the highest? Coincidence? Hey, it's a good question. Good observation. Emma Nemton says, my company forced me to take the vax, both of them. I hated that they took away my choice. I understand. I really do. Thank you to Nate T for being a brand new supporter. I appreciate you. Thank you to Emma again for your donation. Thank you to the anti-view says, El Nino, La Nina, is El Ninx coming? That's hilarious. Put that on a t-shirt. Matter of fact, I might do that. That is hilarious. Wow. And you know what? There's both of them, right? You got El Nino and La Nina. What's that? The boy and the girl, right? So what are they going to do now? A gender neutral weather pattern? Crazy. Thank you to John Louis Blackburn who says, or John Louis, who says, true, quote, prop gun is called a rubber duck because it's made of hard rubber. The barrel is not bored, so it's obviously not real. There you go. Thank you to Angel Rivera who says, hey, ABO, there's nothing wrong with being a diamond in the rough. Your star power will be gradually more impactful. Thank you for that. I appreciate you. You know, I just do my own thing. I don't really worry about, you know, star power or whatever. If that comes with it, then I'm prepared for whatever the case may be. I'm ready for whatever. You know, I was ready to go and burn in buildings and do that for a living. For like, you know, I'm ready for whatever. I'm not really risk averse like that, so it is what it is. All right, hold on. Let me see. The anti-view also says, please make it a shirt and send me one. Oh, I got you. El Nino and La Nina, and then El Ninex. Hilarious. All right. So we got calls on deck. The number to call is 434-658-1220. Again, 434-658-1220. The number is right there in the ticker, and it's always in the description box below. Hopefully we don't have any Skype problems. If it does have some issues, it's not my fault. You know who to blame. Don't blame me. And if you like what you're hearing so far, give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. I most certainly appreciate you. Let's get straight to it. All right, let's go. 860, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, it's F&A Ranger Xbox. How you doing, brother?
I'm well, man. How about yourself?
Oh, pretty good. I just want to keep it quick tonight, but you hit on the topic I wanted to talk about for so long, that Don Pena, self-made Latino billionaire, took his wife to Antarctica, and he has a little YouTube video on there where a woman goes, "What are you rich people gonna do about the climate change?" He goes, "Oh, sit down, you're full of shit." Oh, so I'm sorry, I didn't mean full of duty. But anyhow, a lot of young kids today don't know that coal and oil are made from plant matter that was buried millions of years ago. They don't know that. So consequently, when we burn coal and oil and put the CO2 into the atmosphere, we're not filling up the CO2 and the planet with CO2. We're putting back what the plant stole out of the atmosphere millions of years ago.
Exactly.
But seriously, go ahead.
Now you're right on point.
Seriously though, plants need CO2. They have to breathe it in. And if anybody's ever used the internet for anything other than Facebook, and looked up casual facts about something, they would know that plants, we have these things called greenhouses where we keep plants in winter-like environments in the Arctic, up in the Netherlands and Sweden and all those places. And they found out that if they pumped in CO2, the plants grow faster, greener, and healthier because plants love CO2 and they trap it in their bodies. And the amount of CO2 in our atmosphere, I've been scuba diving since 1973. I'm 61 years old. I've lived through all this crap. They told me when I was a kid we were heading for an ice age. Mm-hmm. So, break out the mucklucks. But anyhow, they keep changing it. It's like the vaccines. They keep changing the goalpost. But who said over a year ago that Fauci was lying. Fauci paid for this. Fauci gave that lab $7.4 million since 2014. Oh, that was me. Oh, my bad. But, and I've been laughed at the whole time. And I stuck by my guns, because I was in the Army. The best way to hurt my feelings is shoot at me. But getting back to the climate change thing, they talk about the oceans rising. Well, the measuring equipment in New York Harbor is on an island that they built out of trash, and the island itself is sinking. The National Oceanographic and Atmospheric Organization, NOAA, was caught altering their data. They had buoys in the ocean, and they had instrumentation on their ships. They changed the data from the buoys to read 2 degrees higher ocean temperature to match the ships because they didn't want to take into account that the ships had machinery running that the buoys didn't have. And the government does not pay you if you say climate change is not real.
That's right.
And that's the bottom line.
That's right.
Follow the money. God bless you. And God bless those dads on duty. Best thing ever for the black community. That was awesome.
Right
awesome.
on,
awesome idea. The man that came up with that was genius. Sheer genius. Take control from the government because that's why this country's so messed up. With them wanting socialism and not knowing about the rock cycle, the water cycle, CO2 cycle, the cycle of life, because they've taken over the education system. That's all I got, brother. Love you. God bless you. Take care. Bye.
I know. Great call. Yeah, they keep changing the goalposts. Back in the 70s, it was global cooling, ice age coming. Then it became all this, acid rain, the Amazon rainforest burning down, all that greenhouse effect, all the things I learned when I was a little kid in school, totally bogus. Like that's not even addressed anymore. That's not even a thing anymore. Captain Planet RIP. But anyway, 701, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
The anti-view. How are you doing tonight, ABL?
I'm well. About yourself?
I'm doing well. I officially give you permission to use whatever I said as a t-shirt.
Right on.
There's been some good ones tonight. Somebody said Dr. Fauci. I thought that was a good one.
Perfect.
In the chat. I heard somebody put Beagles Lives Matter. I think that'd be a great t-shirt.
Yes.
But I definitely think there's something about the hypocrites in everywhere, living on the beach when they're saying the ocean's rising and saying that we can't have security, but they're putting up fences around their houses, with their private security, with their guns. I don't know. I'm ready for America to open up their eyes.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the so-called elite people, they already got private security. That's already a thing. Like, it's a subscription service in some places where you get your private security. Mm-hmm. You pay a fixed rate per month in the whole neighborhood, and everybody gets it. So that's coming. And a lot of
totally.
people are already prepared with their personal security in their homes. Without going into detail,
I lost everything in a fire. I mean, that's a bad analogy for me to use right now. A flood.
It was a tragic boating accident.
Yep. Well, and it's Kim Kardashian talking about how we shouldn't have guns, and then she has security with guns right next to her because she was held at gunpoint. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Come on, let's quit listening to Hollywood. Let's start paying attention to the real values and the real morals again, and let's take it back to the old reduce, reuse, recycle days. ABL.
Hilarious.
You have a good night.
Thank you for the call.
Bye.
Wow, that's bringing it back. Recycle, reduce, reuse. There was a whole song. Remember that? It was a whole song about that. And you know what? The funniest part is that a lot of the recyclables, like if you put your recycling goods in one of those little bins they give you from the city or whatever company you go through for your trash, a lot of times it goes to the same place. You know, I'll go down to the dump and I see them. It'd be a whole big thing of trash. It'd be your blue bin, your regular bin, dumped together. Sometimes, not all the time, but a lot of times that's what they're doing. Since you can't send trash to China anymore, then they just pretty much put them together. All right, call you online. Speaking to 917.
Hi, this is George from New York.
All righty, what's going on?
Hey, listen, I was just gonna ask you. I know you did a video about the situation with Alec Baldwin and the situation with the guns. Now, I'm assuming, I'm not too sure, but I'm assuming that you've been a gun owner and you know how to deal with guns, right?
Yeah.
So, because I was kind of talking to a friend about the situation, it was like, all right, so do you think Alec is going to do some kind of time for this or not really? Because I understand, like, he's a figure, like, in Hollywood, and, you know, I guess the rules, it can be bent a little bit towards people like him, a public figure like him, but what do you think is going to happen, potentially?
Well, it depends. It depends on how it goes, because he could say that he didn't know that it was a loaded weapon. So
Right.
As far as that particular incident, he could be clear of that. I'm not really sure if they're going to say, well, it's up to you to make sure that your gun is clear. I'm not sure how that's going to go. That's a good question. But as far as other things, meaning the workplace conditions and the amateur armorer, he could be held liable for sure, civilly for sure. Like he'll definitely get sued and lose.
Right.
That's a fact. But as far as the criminal investigation,
Right.
it depends upon how negligent he was as far as his workplace. If he's proven to be negligent, that could be a criminal charge right there.
Right, because he was running the show. I mean, that's from what I heard.
Correct.
That was his movie. So everything is kind of like under his, I guess, his rule. So now, so you're saying that it's easier to kind of fault the armor, right?
Yeah, because at the end of the day, what happened was the armorer is the one that provided the weapon. They didn't want to lay it out. So if they gave
the
a
young
weapon,
lady there, right? What was her name?
Hannah
right,
Gutierrez Reed.
Right.
So
Right.
it could be placed on her. It could also go to
Right.
the director who handed the gun to Alec Baldwin. It could also be on Alec Baldwin because he's the one that shot the shot. So I'm
That's
not
what
sure.
I'm saying. You're right.
Yeah,
Right.
I don't really know how the law's going to work on that one, but I know that there will definitely be a lawsuit because of the negligence.
That it.
But I'm not sure about the
Right. You just
negligence
don't know,
criminally.
where. Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because I'm looking at it. It's kind of weird. It's like, at the end of the day, he did shoot that woman. You know, that's the reality. But
Yeah.
now it's the ethical thing. I'm not quite. I don't know. It's kind of weird. But listen. So real quick, have you been following? Well, I'm not sure, but you know, we have I'm in New York here. We have this mayor's. We're gonna be voting soon for the next mayor for New York, right?
Uh-huh.
Do you think that Curtis has a chance?
Well, I mean, who's running against?
Eric Adams, I believe. Like the two guys there that are gunning for it.
I don't know. It really depends. Like it can go either way.
You think? Yeah.
I think so. It could, because there's been a lot of people that have left New York City ever since the virus.
Yes.
So it's kind of up for grab. But you know, I think that it's going to be a long shot for the conservative guy to win.
Right.
But
Right.
it could happen. It's probably a little bit more likely now, considering the climate, people have left and whatnot, than it was before. If you would have asked me this question before the scamdemic, I would have said no. Eric Adams would win.
Probably no. Yeah.
But now it's
Yeah.
it's more kind of in the gray area, in my opinion.
You know, I don't know. I feel like there's I don't know. I mean, I live here, and I know a lot of people. They're like kind of automatically. The liberal mindset is loyalty to the Democratic Party to the point of like lunacy. You know, that's kind of what I read here, and it's like, okay, well, you're going to get Eric Adams, then you reap what you sow. I mean, at this point, it's like, what more do you need, really? So, but I don't know. But let's see what happens. But anyway, ABL, thanks for taking my call. I love your program, and we appreciate it. So thanks.
Thank you for the call. Appreciate it.
Take care.
All right. Shout out to the caller. But yeah, I mean, the New York election could go a different direction other than just liberal, but it depends. It depends on a lot. So we'll see. We'll see how the whole thing goes. All right. And the number to call is 434. There it is. 434-658-1220. There's also an email in the description box for Skype. If you want to call me on that, that'd be fine as well. Yeah, but we'll see. We'll see how the whole thing goes. I mean, some people, they don't really learn very well. They think that they want a particular thing until they get it. All right, 912, you want to learn who am I speaking to?
Hey, what's going on? It's Leonard Roy. Hey, check it out. When I was growing up in the 70s, it was like, don't use aerosol cans because it's going to eat a hole in the ozone layer and it's going to fry us away. We're going to get roasted by the sun rays. Didn't happen, did it?
It sure didn't.
Exactly. So the stuff that they're telling people out here, I'm like, really? Come on. And then with this Alec Baldwin thing, right? Say if that wasn't someone in Hollywood and it was some like child that got their hands on a firearm while riding around with their parents, which it has happened before, and there was a shooting. All right?
Uh-huh.
Oh, the left wing, ban all the guns. Guns are bad. Gun manufacturers, sue them. Everyone's evil with a gun. That's what would be happening. But since it's Hollywood, you know, their most effective mouthpiece, now everybody's, well, you know, it was an accidental shooting. It's a whole lot of other accidental shootings. But when you have regular citizens in an accidental shooting, especially if it's in a red state, oh my God, we need new gun legislations. We need this. We need that. They lose their minds, you know?
That's right.
I mean, it's insane crazy. And I'm sitting there like, the selective outrage with it all is unnerving. Completely unnerving. And like the gentleman that called earlier, say he's in the military, you know, so was I. I'm like, you want to scare me? Shoot at me. You know what I mean? There's other stuff. It doesn't bother me. I mean, yeah, I lost people that were supposed to have been lifelong friends when it's like, well, you know, I'm voting for Trump, so, oh yeah. They're barking and this and that, and it's like, well, you know, I'm voting my best interest. And we stopped speaking. It's insane. Some of the madness, and now it's right back to the same thing with. I'm trying to be brief. With see, they ain't got no. What do they call them? Programs. Yeah, that's the word. He ain't got no programs for us. All these kids in Chicago doing this. See, now if they had some program. Whoa. How about raise your freaking kids?
Yeah,
or
try that one.
Chicago, do like I did. You see?
Yeah.
Got their hands out. Well, what they ain't doing, they who? The Democrats you all been voting in? I mean, somebody hit Google. When the last time a mayor of Chicago was a Republican? I think it was around when the woman horse kicked over the thing and they had the Chicago fire or something. I know it wasn't last century or this one.
No, it's been a long time, and I've not seen a whole lot of positive results from the mayors they had over the past few years.
Yeah, I mean, it was sort of like it was a family dynasty. First, it was the Dalys. You had Daley Senior, and he was mayor for like ever. Then once he had a son that could run for office that was old enough, he became mayor for like ever. And then they had a whole lot of hit and missy people in between, you know. Now you've got the mayor and the doggone state's attorney person fighting. I mean, I don't know if you saw this story about Kim Fox, whereas these gangbangers were out there shooting at each other, blasting up the whole neighborhood. And she said, well, they were engaged in mutual combat.
Crazy. Mutual combat.
Mutual combat.
So it's okay, I
They're
suppose.
on the street shooting. Mutual combat is Iraq and Afghanistan. That's mutual combat in a combat zone. That is some doggone Blackistanian crap. Some Chirac crap. You know what I mean?
Right. And no militaries fighting
Nobody
each other.
wants nobody wants to take accountability for anything. Always want someone else to do something. They got to do. They who? Raise your freaking kids and be a sexually responsible individual. You know, you see these serial baby daddies. Leave them alone, or at least use some protection. Do something.
Right.
But, hey, you know, everybody wants to blame someone. And then, you know, I'm the nerd. I'm the square. You know, when I was in school, they called me Len the nerd. You know, made a whole nerdy play on my name. Oh, that's Len the nerd. There he goes. Yeah, well, who's living nice in a red state? You know, pension at 51 years old, and who's still trying to figure out what direction stuff is going to go next, and is my home going to get blasted up by some of these doggone soldiers in Chirac? You know?
Exactly.
It's crazy. Yeah, so I know you got people that are trying to get in and everything because you have a very, very popular show. I've been checking you out since I had seen Candace Owens on a YouTube channel. And I was like, you know, when she was doing the short, like the little 5-minute videos. And you popped up on one of them, and I started checking out your live stream and been checking you out since. So, yes.
Well, thank you for the call, man.
Congratulations on getting married.
Oh, thank you.
Now that I got you on the phone, I can say that personally, opposed to typing in the chat. Congratulations on getting married, and I hope you all have a long, healthy, strong marriage.
Well, thank you for that, man. I appreciate you. And thank you for the call, most certainly.
All right, you're welcome. Keep doing what you're doing, because you're going to catch on. Keep to everyone else. These people that have a functional brain. Keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you for that, man. Appreciate you.
All right. Bye-bye.
All right. Shout out to my man for the call. Most certainly appreciate him. I got a video for you guys right quick. This kind of shows the insanity that I talk about a lot of time from, I don't know if this is the left or if it's just some of these people. Hold on.
Hi everyone! I don't think I've done like a general introduction yet as to who I am, so I thought I would do that now. Hi, my name is Bunny and I use bun pronouns.
So if you can't see this is a person that, man, this is so hard to describe. I'm not really sure what I'm seeing here. Have you ever seen Batman with Danny DeVito where he played the Penguin? Okay, so think Penguin, but like half the size. Okay, they're wearing a cummerbund with some suspenders, a white dress shirt, a tie that's not tied up. It's kind of like you got a knot, but it's like loose around their neck. Then I'm seeing like a little girl choker, like one of these, a 12-year-old girl choker, a necklace with a heart on it, some black frame glasses. So I'm kind of triggered by that. A buzz cut on the side with some kind of comb over wavy type thing. I'm not sure what their chromosomes are, but they're going to tell you what their pronouns and stuff are.
So who am I? I am a gender fluid, trans femme, pan-romantic, great ace, white passing Japanese person. Hi everyone! I don't think I've done like a general introduction yet as to who I am, so I thought I would do that now. Hi, my name is Bunny and I use bun pronouns. So who am I? I am a gender fluid, trans femme, pan-romantic, great ace, white passing Japanese person.
What is a great ace though? What is a great ace? You looking like Peyton Manning in the face, but okay, I'm gonna stop. What is a great ace though? Can anybody explain that to me? Can anybody break that down like I'm 5 years old or nah? Is that impossible to do? Anyway, I digress. Let's go 516 on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hi, ABL. How are you tonight? This is Rob.
All righty, and well, how about yourself?
Doing well, thank you. So one of your topics tonight was climate change. So I wanted to just talk about my progression from one of those kind of climate alarmists, not too crazy, but, to a more practical, having a more practical stance on it. So my first kind of inkling that something was wrong, I used to invest in solar stocks because back then, this was around, 2010, 2009. And I was like, oh, how can you go wrong going green, right? Everything is going green, wind power, solar power. So, how can you go wrong with that investment? And then one of my investments went bankrupt. So I started asking the question, what happened, And then, once I did my research, I found out that they needed subsidies just to survive. And I was like, why would they need subsidies if everything is going green? If all energy is going wind, going solar. So that just kind of started the ball rolling for me in going down that rabbit hole of, okay, all these things that they're talking about, solar and wind, is not all like that cracked up, like what they say it is. Because now I know that with solar, it's not as energy efficient, as coal and oil. I don't know if you've read the Michael Schoenberg's book, Apocalypse Never. I learned a lot from that they're called energy diffuse or dilute, which means, they require more space just to generate the same power as, coming from coal, natural gas, or oil. So I learned that. Then I learned about the components once they're done, because they have a shelf life, right? A lifespan. So it's like 10 years, 15 years. You can't even recycle those. The same with wind turbines. They're just like buried in the ground. So that's how green is that. So all these things, I just starting to find out. Even with nuclear, I was kind of very afraid of it before, but now I learned more and more that it's actually kind of safe. Not that bad with the Chernobyl and all that stuff. I was so scared, about those things. But now I'm learning more that, it's actually pretty safe, the technology now with nuclear. So if people really wanted to go green, they should seriously consider nuclear energy. So, what do you think about nuclear energy, ABL?
I think it's better than trying to harness the wind or the sun. The only problem with nuclear energy is the waste, but it's most certainly better than the so-called renewable energies. I still like good old-fashioned coal and oil. Personally, it's probably the safest out of all of them. Nuclear is safe too, but the waste is the problem.
Okay, yeah, I can see that. Yeah, I'm learning that they're actually safely stored also, and they take so little space when they put them in this kind of heavy duty metal containers, and then they burn in the ground. It takes so little space. But I can see, because I'm still learning. At least my mind is open now. It used to be kind of shut off from that kind of energy alternative, but now my mind is more open to learning more. Now that I'm like, oh, okay, so solar and wind power is not all that they say it is. But no, I agree. Coal, oil, but yeah, I don't know. Did you read Apocalypse Never by Michael Schoenberg, that book?
No.
Okay. No, I just finding out that I never used to think about this thing called cost opportunity. I forgot the term, but the money that we're putting into wind and solar, if we can put that money somewhere else, it will actually benefit the world more. is I guess my point. Like in poor countries, right? If they're pushing wind and solar, it's actually hurting those communities than just using coal and oil when it's cheaper. So that energy is cheaper, it's more reliable, it reaches more poor people. So these things I'm learning that those are actually better for the poor people instead of the wind and solar that they're pushing. So these are just like things that I'm learning more and more. But I just wanted to kind of relay that story from. I used to be there on that side, like climate. I used to like even like post in forums and arguing for green energy. But now I'm like on the other side. So I just wanted to chime in on that story for tonight. But I love your show, ABL. I listen to all your shows every time, and keep up the good work. Love your show. Thank you. Have a good night.
Thank you for the call. Appreciate it. All right, so I have a video to show you guys right quick. Video and audio for you guys listening to the podcast on your favorite audio streaming platform. Thank you all for doing that as well. This is Joe Rogan, and he says 200 Congress people took IVM. Let's roll the clip.
By the way, 200 Congress people have been treated with ivermectin for COVID. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
Google that. 200. I believe you could probably find it in Dr. Pierre Corey's Twitter page. Yeah. Before there were vaccines, this was a common treatment, an off-label treatment for COVID. Now, I do not know what the motivation for demonizing this particular medication is. Again, I'm not.
I know what it is. I take a stab at it, Joe. I'll take a crack at it. I'll just give it the old college. The reason is because they want to push the vax because there's more money in it. IVM, that's easily accessible. That's, you can make that pretty cheap, generic. Anybody can get that. So if they got IVM, and no need for the vax, right? It's simple. It's money. And also, you got to be obedient to us. Don't take that. We took it. That's why we don't get sick. You notice how you don't see many people you don't see many Congress people get sick. Not even before the vax was available. They didn't get sick. Why? It's because they got IVM. When Kamala Harris got exposed to the virus, while them people from Texas, they went on that chartered flight and half of them got sick, and then she met with them the next day. Of course she was exposed to it. So there was a quote unquote routine visit to Walter Reed. What they do? Here goes some IVM. Here goes some HCQ. Here go the Z-Pack. Take that, you be just fine. That's what happened, allegedly, in my opinion. But let's let them continue here.
I'm not a doctor and I'm not a scientist, but I would imagine some of it has to do with money. The reason being is that it is a generic drug now.
Yes.
The patent has run out. So anybody can make it, and it's worth like 30 cents a dose. By the way, 200 Congress people
haven't I been saying that from the jump? I mean, anybody can see what's going on. I mean, come on, like some of this stuff is just pretty clear. It's obvious to see. It's obvious to see. IVM, it won a Nobel Peace Prize. Why they trying to say it's horse pace? It's because they don't want you to take it. They want to scare you into not taking it because they want you to take their drugs. Don't take your particular, don't take a generic you can get from anywhere to treat this thing and be happy. Take our drugs. Don't take drugs, take our drugs. That's what they want. Anyway, let's move on. 609, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, ABL, this is Corey from Pennsylvania. How you doing tonight?
I'm well. About yourself?
Good. So I'm glad that you played the Rogan clip because that's something that in these recent months, when you talk about looking back at 2020 and what did people call a conspiracy theory and what did people not call a conspiracy theory, it's easier to see it in hindsight, like where the contradictions lie or where the falsehoods lie. But the play-by-play that's happened over the past couple months where like when Rogan first mentioned that he used it and you had everybody, like I can tell you this was the funny part to me. when I share something on my Instagram story, I'll usually get, I don't know, 3 or 4 people reach out, complain what I post, have an argument, and I'll engage a little bit, whatever here or there. But when I posted, kind of like, if you're buying the ivermectin stuff, that it's horse dewormer, you're the sheep of all sheep. I think I lost about 20 followers at one time.
Wow.
And nobody replied to it though, if you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So it's like people, it's almost impossible for people not to see it, because I do think people get as angry as this as anything. But then people just seem to be in the most denial about this as anything that I've ever seen in terms of denial. Like, what would you say? Do you think this lines up at the kind of the top of the spectrum?
I mean, I think what's happening is that there's been a campaign to make people think that way. They're kind of brainwashed by what they see on television. It's just like this whole thing with the horse dewormer. They want to say that over and over and over and over again. So then when you say something different one time, oh, no, that's not true because the TV said it's horse dewormer. You're not telling the truth. You know what you are. You are a MAGA supporter. You're a 10-foot hat wearer. You want to spread misinformation. You want to go against the science. Anthony Fauci said that's not right. I'll believe Anthony Fauci. It kind of infantilizes grown adults to like little kids.
Oh, yeah.
That's not right. My daddy said it's not right. That's kind of where we are nowadays.
Yeah. And just one other thing on that. Did you see, I mean, you might have been talking about this earlier, I'm not sure, but the Gupta interview and then the follow-up to the Gupta interview on CNN? Yeah,
I saw that. Like, when he was on Rogan and Rogan was confronting him like, hey, why did your network say that I took horse dewormer? I have a doctor's prescription. It's right here. He said, oh, well, they shouldn't have said that. That's not right. And then they had him on like the next day or a couple of days later on CNN speaking about Sanjay Gupta. And then Don Lemon was like, well, we didn't lie because this is a drug used to deworm horses. So did we lie? Nope, you didn't lie. You told the truth. So he did a total 180 from when he was on Joe Rogan. He'll say whatever he needs to say in that moment. There's no truth or integrity there.
Yeah. And the one last thing I'd say on that is like Gupta, in somewhat fairness to him, I mean, he was obviously a sellout once he got back on CNN, like always, but he did try to jump in and say, in Joe's defense, or I think what Joe was trying to say, or something along those lines. And Don Lemon cuts him right off, and he's like, "Oh, he's trying to say this, that. I know." And then that was the end of conversation. So it's pretty funny stuff. But I appreciate you taking the call, ABL. I'll let you get on to the next video or next person. But keep up the good work.
Thanks for the call, man. Appreciate it. You know, the thing with Sanjay Gupta, that was a mess because he understood what was going on. Like, we all know what's happening here. We can watch television and see it. If you're a casual watcher of television, then you may not necessarily understand. But to all of us that really understand what's going on, we see it. All right, hold on. And thank you all for being here yet again. Most certainly appreciate you guys. If you enjoyed what you're hearing so far, go ahead and give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. Let's go. 919, you're on the line, am I speaking to? 919, okay, so 919 hung up. All right. That's good. We got a few more. The phone lines are blowing up. We're trying to get everybody on ASAP. Trust the science. What science? If you cite a doctor that's an unapproved doctor, then that's not trusted, and only the government will approve the doctor. It's so dumb. All righty, man. Magnificent. What's going on?
What's going on, man? Long time no talk.
Yeah, it's been a minute. How's everything going?
Good, man. Just got back from New York City, which is what I want to talk about. I don't know if you saw the rally on Monday, RSBN. We covered it live. We went across the Brooklyn Bridge. There were probably about 40,000 people there. FDNY put it on. NYPD was there. I mean, you had everybody, white, black, Asian, the diversity of New York City came together and they were chanting, all these things. Let's go, Brandon. And then against Bill de Blasio. But the main reason they got together was for the workers' mandate. They're against it. And so total media blackout, of course, but we still brought it live. and it just felt good. I don't know if you had a chance to see it and what your thoughts are on the whole thing.
I saw some of that. I didn't watch the entire thing, but I saw some of that. I liked how people came out to New York City, because a lot of times people are kind of afraid to go to some of these liberal places and really talk about things like this. But I think this is more, it wasn't really political. This was everybody saying, okay, we don't want to have our rights stripped away. If you want to get it, then that's fine. If we don't, then that's fine too. So I think I saw BLM out there.
Yeah, they were out there.
Yeah, and everybody was kind of in solidarity. So I thought that was a good thing, to have it not really be political and be more about just fighting for your rights. And it wasn't left or right. So I really enjoyed that part for sure.
Absolutely. And not only that, it was organic, grassroots. There's no money train to follow to see who funded it, unlike that Extinction Rebellion thing where they blocked traffic and there was only like 10 people there. This was organic. I mean, nobody was even promoting it or talking about it. It was just basically a flyer getting spread around social media, and you had that many people show up. And what I'm hoping is that goes nationwide. I mean, Chicago needs one, LA, all the areas where they're, shutting down In-N-Out Burger, and it's getting crazy with these mandates. I'm so fed up with it. Like, it's just making me crazy, because the whole approach, the whole argument about this vaccine is they start with this little false dichotomy, right? If you don't want the COVID-19 vaccine, it's because you're an anti-vaxxer. And then they approach their entire argument of the unvaccinated as, well, you haven't gotten the vaccine, so you're killing someone's grandma. So they operate from the premise of, if you're not vaccinated, it's because you're sick and you're just shedding all kind of germs, when that was never the case before COVID. And it just seems like some people are so psychotic and gone, we may never get them back.
Yeah, it does seem like that, but a lot of that is from conditioning. And I feel like people can be reconditioned in a different way. And having marches like this, these organic movements, can start to kind of spark the interest. It's like people have been kind of lulled to sleep, and they're believing whatever they want. It's like being placed in the Matrix. You give in a little pill, you're back in the Matrix, and you're living in your world. But then one day you might get jarred awake. It might be a Morpheus come into your dream and say, hey, man, take this red pill, wake on up, get up out that slumber. So hopefully that's going to happen a lot more. People just start to wake up and see what's going on and go a different direction.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too, because especially in places like New York, where the crime is on the rise and they always have, emergencies. So if they can't afford to have less first responders out and about patrolling than they do now. So those safe neighborhoods, those little enclaves in Manhattan, if all of a sudden there's no police presence because a lot of them got laid off, then, crime goes up in your area, or trash isn't getting picked up because city workers, they got laid off, then that affects the average normie. That's what I think is going to take. It's going to take them being affected by it directly before they actually stand up and say something.
Exactly. 100% correct. It's like, I forget the exact saying. It's like a lot of liberals get mugged by reality, then they become conservative, because they don't really understand that the way they think and the way they operate is affecting them negatively until they experience it firsthand. Then it's like, oh, okay, I got it.
Yeah. And also, I don't know if you had a chance to see that Twix Halloween commercial, but it's pretty bad.
Okay, so I think I heard something about that, but what's going on with the commercial?
Well, the commercial, it's a little boy. It looks like he's home alone, which is weird. He's wearing a purple dress, and this witch comes up to his door, rings the doorbell. He opens the door. She's like, I'm here to be your babysitter. He's like, I don't need a babysitter. He closes the door. Then all of a sudden she's inside the house because she's a witch or whatever. And then they start talking about weird stuff. He goes in the front yard wearing his dress. And then some girls come up to him and they're like making fun of him. Like, why are you wearing the dress? Why it's not Halloween or something. So he runs back inside. So already I'm like, okay, you got this boy in a dress, obviously demasculating him. And then you got him running away because he can't deal with his feelings and stuff, just making it look real bad. And then it shows kids walking by, bullying him when they're trick-or-treating because he's wearing the dress. Then he's in the car with the witch, and she looks in the back seat, and she's like, do you want to keep the dress on? And he's like, yes. And then at the end, they're walking off into the sunset holding hands, him in his dress and the witch. And the whole time, it's a 2-minute commercial. The whole time, they forget to sell a candy bar. It's the craziest thing ever, but also the agenda is very, very clear.
Oh, it's real. You know what it is. It's about Halloween costumes. That's what it's going to be about. So when the little kid sees that, They're going to be in the store, some little boy with his mom, hey, can I put on the dress? I saw it on the commercial. Can I put on the dress? And then the parents see the same commercial and be like, hey, that'd be a good idea. It's mental conditioning early for Halloween costume shopping.
Yeah, and that's a problem. That's a big problem because it's one thing if like a little kid that doesn't know anything about high heels puts on his mom's high heels, and then the mom or the dad says, you don't want to wear those. Put on some shoes that you can play in and run in. That's one thing. It's another thing if you're like, well, those are too big for you. They make high heels in your size. Maybe we could get you some stockings. Maybe we could get you a dress. Let's try some makeup and lipstick. It's a total agenda to condition little kids, little boys to dress like girls and take on a feminine personality.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing. And it's just so evil. And I can't believe more people aren't aware of this.
Very good point.
Yeah. And last thing I want to mention, you can help me out with this one because you lived in Virginia, whatever. I don't know if you saw the guy running for governor, Terry, help me with the pronunciation of it. McCoffey or something?
McAuliffe.
McAuliffe. Okay, that's been throwing me off forever because the way it's spelled and everything. But anyway, the video of him dancing is just, it's so bad. It's the cringiest thing. They always have to dance to show like, hey, I'm down, vote for me. But what's going on with this election? Is he gonna? First of all, I thought Ralph Northam was gonna get reelected. I didn't know that he wasn't up for reelection. Is he just deciding not to run because of the blackface thing? And then how do you see this whole Virginia governor election playing out?
Okay, well, in Virginia, you can't run back to back in Virginia as far as a governor. So you have to take at least one term off before you can run again. Terry McAuliffe was the governor before Ralph Northam. So that's why he's running again, because you have Ralph Northam in between his last term and then the term now he's trying to run for. And Ralph Northam was the lieutenant governor under Terry McAuliffe when he was the governor before Ralph Northam. So that's why Northam's not running again, because he can't by the law. And as far as McAuliffe in the election, it's close. The reason why it's close is because of Northern Virginia and all the school board stuff that's happening. That's the epicenter of it. If you could flip Northern Virginia a little bit more red, which is normally solidly blue because it's right there by DC. If you could flip that be a little bit more red, you can win. If you can't flip Northern Virginia at all, then you have no chance. But because of Loudoun County and all the stuff with the girl that got sexually assaulted in the bathroom and all this weird gender stuff happening, all the parents are upset. And then McAuliffe said, hey, we don't want parents to be worried about what we teach your kids. Don't worry about that. We got that. Oh, that parents were heated. People calling me from Virginia. Hey, did you hear that? People that are just normal, don't even really pay attention to the election, they're tuning in. So I think the school board stuff could flip the election. So it's closer than it normally would be. If not for the school board stuff, McAuliffe would win with no contest. Youngkin would have no chance.
Okay, and when is the actual election? I just haven't followed this at all, but it's surfacing in the news now. Everybody's talking about this guy now.
I want to say November the 2nd, but I'm not quite sure, so don't hold me to that. I know it's in November, though.
Okay, cool. That's all I got, man. I'm going to let you take some more callers, but appreciate you letting me call in, as usual.
Well, thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Yes, sir.
All right, shout out to my man Mike Nificent on the YouTubes. You can also find them on RSBN, Brightside Broadcasting Network. Again, Mike Nificent on YouTube. Y'all follow him, check him out. And again, follow him on RSBN. You'll see him out there in the field interviewing people and whatnot. Good guy right there, Mike Nificent. And I was right about that. It is November the 2nd, so that's this coming Tuesday. So if you're in Virginia, if you can't early vote or whatever, vote on Tuesday, November the 2nd, which is this coming Tuesday, just in a few days here. All right. Less than 7 days. You're talking about what? 6 days? Well, 7 days away on the dot, actually. All right. And yeah. Now I found a commercial, the Twitch commercial. I did find it. Let's put it on the screen right quick so we can check it out.
Twix presents Bite Size Halloween.
Okay.
I'm your new nanny.
Okay, so just a few things here. First of all, they're both white, so if you can't see the screen, the little boy is on the ground, sitting on the floor with a dress on for some reason, a purple dress, and then here comes this Alicia Silverstone looking 1990s looking goth, big crazy brim hat lady that I guess is a witch.
I don't need a nanny.
And he's on the ground playing with dolls and stuff.
Well, your parents seem to think you do.
What's your favorite color?
Black.
Other than black.
Oh, charcoal.
Why are you all dressed up? It's not Halloween yet.
So he goes outside with his dress on and kicking a soccer ball, like not kicking it, just kind of like nudging it with his foot. And two actual girls roll up on him and say, "Hey, why you all dressed up?" And he go back in the house. So he's soft on top of that.
Can I help you?
Are you a good witch or a bad witch?
Do you want to find out? You buckled?
I'm still wearing my princess dress.
Do you want to wear it?
So she asks, "Do you want to wear it?" He says yes. Now let's pause for a minute. This is a Twix commercial. Twix candy bar. I've not seen their candy bar in the commercial, and we are about a minute and some change in.
Hey, you, princess. You look like a girl. Why are you wearing that?
Dressing like this makes me feel good.
Is that your nanny? She looks weird. You look weird. Your nanny looks weird. You guys are both weird. No.
Yeah, he's right. Correct. Yes. And ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with some constructive criticism. That's what that was.
We're just different.
Boys don't wear dresses.
Whoa! Whoa! Where is it coming from? What's happening? Help!
Okay, so if you can't see it, the witch took some wind and then blew the little boys away that were telling the boy the truth about his appearance.
We should go.
Will he come back?
Yeah, probably. Come on.
And she has on a short skirt so that's inappropriate right there for a little kid to be, you know what I mean? So that's really what that was. Again, it was a way to sell Halloween costumes. That's all. So then when the little kids go in the store, going in the wrong aisle, and you hear it where they say they're going to have gender neutral toy aisles. See, it's all part of a game. But I'll digress. Get back to the calls. Let's go 773. You're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, ABL. Okay. ABL, have you been following up on this gain of function research with Fauci? Because it's not just dogs now. It's also monkeys, but here's the dark thing. He has also tested on age-rated children.
Wow. Now, I've not seen that one. All I saw was the whole thing about the dogs, but I'm not surprised about all the other tests. Not surprised at all.
Well, take a look at the story from the Gateway Pundit, and it will pretty much alarm you to the very core. And I really think that story needs to be talked about much more than the dogs, because much as the media is trying to make us feel sorry about the dogs, they're making us distracted by the bigger picture and problem with these type of tests to begin with, since Fauci has lied under oath several times in the past. It's not really an apparent now. It's most definite that he's lied.
Well, yeah, of course. We all see that, and it's becoming more apparent now that he's lied about everything.
Have you listened to Mayor Garland talk today on Capitol Hill? And if you have, recognized his body language as well as him deflecting very direct yes or no questions about what went on at Loudoun County and the letter that was sent out.
I saw some of that, and that's what Merrick Garland does. Lawyers is how they talk, especially on Capitol Hill. So he was just trying to avoid the whole situation, and I think a lot of states are taking matters into their own hands. I think it might have been Ohio that removed the national, the school board group from there.
And Missouri too.
Missouri, because they know that the federal government are trying to cover up for them, because all this whole thing about having the federalists come investigate was based on that letter from that particular school board group or union group talking about teachers were like terrorists. You should vote the Patriot Act and stuff like that. So, the federals went way overboard, and a lot of the states are recognizing it, but they don't want to admit it on the federal level.
Yeah, not to cut you off, but there's one other particular video. If you have seen John Kennedy's YouTube channel and seen him ask questions towards Democrats and other judges on the Hill, you would notice a very similar pattern with all these Biden appointing judges, specifically Holly Thompson especially, is that not a single one of them can answer a simple, direct yes or no question without trying to tap the answer on the question and not give a definitive yes or no.
Yeah, it's all about just trying to cover it up because a lot of them are lawyers, is what they do.
Okay. There's one other story that's pertaining to Loudoun County that I noticed a lot of people are still not talking about. It comes from the Daily Caller, and I saw it from Josh from Epoch Times last night, is that the parents and the students at the Loudoun County School Board specifically have been forced to sign a NDA, non-disclosure agreement. That way that both parties cannot talk about what was talked about in class, and kids can have the textbooks brought home. That way the parents would know what was being taught to their kids in the class, particularly CRT. And if you really look at it very closely, this is pretty much exactly how the Nazi Party brainwashed a whole generation of kids to do their bidding.
Well, yeah, of course. That's what they do. They want to just try to have the kids in a kind of isolated environment, and the parents, like I've heard that a lot about other things, don't tell your parents, don't tell. And that's not how it's supposed to go, because you should tell your parents about all of what's going on. The parents should be involved. They should understand what's happening. Mm-hmm. They should know what you're being taught in school if you're a child. But the parents are not going to go for all things that are being taught in school. So now it's being hidden from them. And that shouldn't be legal to even do that. It shouldn't be legal for a teacher to request that you hide something from your parents that you're being taught in school. So, yeah, the whole thing is crazy.
More importantly, the kids cannot be forced to sign something like that because, A, you're forbidding them from actually learning, but more importantly, you take advantage of their own innocence.
Right.
Like, it's a real problem that I really think parents can actually do, because since the school board's not exactly listening to them, I think they need to be a little bit a little bit aggressive in their vocabulary, since the school board is not taking it seriously, especially since they covered up the rape. Matter of fact, there's an email out there saying that the Loudoun County School Board knew about it the day of the event, but chose to ignore it.
Right, exactly, and that's a big problem. So that's going to be part of this whole governor race coming up, that they're covering up stuff like that, all these things going on. But thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Okay. Good night.
All right. And shout out to y'all for being here. You guys are the best audience anywhere on the internet. The number to call is 434-658-1220. Again, 434-658-1220. Do not be afraid to call. It is all good. Let's go ahead and get rocking. All right, Tariq, what's going on?
Hey, yo, what's up? Hey, man, so just a couple of things, man. I first want to touch on that video that you played. Twix, man. This is definitely agenda, man. And you know what? They only go after boys. Have you noticed that?
I have.
Anytime they promote, transgenderism, it's always on little boys. You never see commercials with little girls dressed up as, boy clothes and doing boy things. Even with these celebrities, you got Dwayne Wayne. I forget that white lady name, Charlene something. She had adopted those two black kids, got them in dresses. And then Dwayne Wade coming out talking about his son is a girl, but it's always one way. It is emasculating males, especially they want to get them while they are young. And it's funny because in that Twix commercial, typically they put a young black boy in there. I thought they had a white kid on it, so looked like they working on the white man.
Yep.
They're working on now. But yeah, man. And, the other thing I want to talk about is this January 6th, man. It's still just frustrating how this is just a topic of the day. Because to me, this whole January 6th outrage, it's just manufactured. It's manufactured like the fake Russia story that went on evidence free, unchallenged. And, nobody was getting censored. Nobody was getting pulled off online for spreading fake news. They allowed it. And it's just something that conservatives is going to have just take a lesson learned on this, man. Like, don't give the enemy what you want. And the thing is, some of us act like the media is going to be fair to us. No, they're not. The same way we laugh at liberals when they get beat up at their rallies or do something stupid, these liberals are going to do the exact same thing to us. So if we do a protest and we get hurt or, God forbid, we get shot, they're not going to have no sympathy for us. They're going to laugh at us. They're going to say it serves us right. Throw them all in jail. There is no sympathy. So, we have to be smart. Protesting from the last time I seen ain't solved nothing. But if we must protest, I would tell these people, protest these rhinos. Like, get them out of here. Let rhinos know that they're not welcome. But going to Capitol Hill and protesting like that solved nothing. It gave liberals exactly what they want, and it really hurt Trump's chances, man. And just the last thing I want to talk about is Dave Chappelle, man. He responded like a man. I haven't seen a man, or specifically a black man, because most of them are apologizing and kowtowing and re-educating himself. He responded like he didn't give a F, man. He was like, I don't care. And he didn't even apologize. And he's going after. He is really standing his ground. And, I respect him because really, why does he have to meet Netflix employees? Like, it's so stupid. Why do you have to meet them to have a serious conversation about transgenderism? Like, is he supposed to now, after you have that serious conversation, start promoting y'all? Like, that's what I'm saying. This whole ally with them is just nonsense. Look at what's that comedian? He said Hannah Gadsby, right?
Yeah.
Hannah Gadsby had a special on Netflix. Netflix paid her millions of dollars. Now you're supposed to be an ally, right? So you see Netflix being attacked. So if we are allies, I'm ally to you, you're ally to me. You're supposed to come defend me. Instead, Hannah's like getting on Netflix, like, don't let me in with Dave Chappelle and this transphobia nonsense and just talking all reckless. I'm like, wait a minute. Aren't we supposed to be allies? That's what I'm saying, bro. We never ally these people. We can have mutual respect, but we're not going to have no allyship where it goes one way, where I got to kowtow, bend over, and do everything you want me to do. But then when I'm in trouble, you just spit on my face and you just leave me there to burn. And that's all I got to say, man.
Thank you for the call, man. Appreciate it.
All right, take care.
That's a really good point. All this ally this, ally that. Well, what's all this ally stuff at when I need you? Why has it got to be one way? Either we allies or we not. It can't just be, oh, well, you're my ally, so whenever I need some help, you come to my rescue, but I will not help you whenever you need some help. That's not really how that goes, or it shouldn't go that way at least. All right, let's go to some more here. 856 on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Oh, good. Hold on. This is Winston Fujimori. Hold on. I'm actually cheating. I'm calling you on Skype and on my phone.
All right, let's get it
Yeah.
together.
Yeah. So hold on. Let me the speaker. Yeah, ABL, what's going on? I really enjoyed the show today. I actually called in like a few years ago, and you must be shadow banned or something, because I actually was able to get a notification of you going live just now. So not just now, but like a few hours ago.
Well, I'm glad you finally got it. So hopefully, you get some more of those. That'd be great.
Yeah, definitely. I wanted to say there's going to be a political. This is I sent in a super chat too. I'm definitely cheating here. I don't cheat on video games though. My COD skill is unmatched.
Okay.
In that it's lousy, so I can't play. But yeah, I was kind of cheating with trying to get on. But I wanted to say there's going to be a political debate upcoming on. I don't know if you know the show, the Kill Stream. They got banned off of basically everything, but now they're on Odyssey. It's going to be. Do you know who Styx Hexenhammer is?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's going to be debating Nick Fuentes on China and nationalism, and if China is good for American dissidents in the U.S. It's going to be on November 4th at 11 a.m. on Odyssey. So November 4th at 11 a.m. That is, not p.m. because usually they do a nighttime show. But I just wanted to promote that. I actually spent a lot of time setting it up. I worked with the guy who runs the show, Ethan Ralph, to get both of them on. One of them's actually a friend. Nick's a friend of mine, but I think we kind of disagree on this China situation. But anyway, I wanted to get back to one thing you were saying about the welfare state. I agree that it does incentivize laziness in a lot of ways, but I'm not completely for throwing out everything. I'm what you would call a distributist, which is based in Catholic or Reformed social teaching, where basically you things that are widely used or owned that people need as necessities, like healthcare, internet, what would you say, cell phone communication, telecom networks, television, social media, that should be publicly owned and financed, kind of like how they did that with the cell towers with Tennessee Valley Authority. They can't kick you off of using a cell phone. So that would be the same thing, but it would be for the people. Now, that's not to say I believe in single payer or socialized systems where the government owns is basically your doctor. But I do believe that it should be less left up to private people to have organizations or businesses or stuff like that that would give out something like healthcare, but it's made so that they can't gyp you at the price tag. And in addition to this, these things would be made public. For instance, in Australia, they have a 2-tier system where there's a public baseline thing for healthcare, and it's not socialized, so it's not government owned, but there's a baseline thing for healthcare. But most people usually go and get secondary insurance, which is cheap and they can't rip you off price wise. But all the healthcare is really high quality. They actually did back when PBS was pretty good. They did a thing, or Frontline was pretty good on PBS. They did a thing about healthcare around the world, and they said, Australia's system, it's capitalistic, it's whatnot, but they still do have universal care and suffrage.
I gotta cut in right quick. So
yeah, go for it.
What's your essential point you're trying to make? Because I gotta get, just for time's sake.
Oh, yeah, sorry about that. I go on a little too much. No, I just wanted to go and promote that debate that's coming on. It's going to be really huge. A lot of people are really pumped for it. And I just wanted to say I just believe in social welfare, but one that's pro-family centric and pro-natal and isn't socialized as well. I just wanted to give them my 2 cents in. So you can leave me with that, or you can give a comment or whatever.
Well, thank you for the call, man. I appreciate you.
Yeah, no problem.
All righty. Yeah, it's just like water. You got to put them in a, put them in the proper, and get them rocking and rolling. But Nah, TVA, you got that's not free. TVA, that's kind of hard to explain. Yeah, you got to still pay for that. Welfare is not good because it incentivizes laziness. It incentivizes a lack of production. All right, your line, I'm speaking to 787.
Oh, Anthony, yes. It's me. It's Franz from Puerto Rico.
All right, man, what's going on?
How you doing? Look, I wanted to talk to you about a video. I missed most of your show because we're having a major outage of internet in Puerto Rico. So I don't know if you already talked about this, but it is a video from Neil Oliver. I think it is. He has a show on the UK, and I don't know if you saw a video from him that he was criticizing all the COVID restrictions that are going on. Have you seen it?
No, I've not seen it. Nah, is it new? It come out recently?
About I think it's been 3 days now.
Okay, no,
it's a really good video. He's just making the point that we are not dumb. Okay, that we know what is really happening. Okay, and it is from I think it's CBN, GB News. Okay, or GBN. I'm not sure the name of the show. Right now, I don't have internet to look it up. I'm using my cell phone. So that's it. And I want to know if you seen the video.
Yeah, I
another
see.
thing is just
go ahead.
Uh-huh.
Go ahead.
No.
No, I was saying I see it right here. I'm gonna just bookmark that and watch it later.
Okay, perfect. He's making really good points. So I'm gonna spoil that a little bit. Is that he makes the points that in the UK, they come out that the third shot is the good one, right? That's the one that gives you the full protection.
Right.
But then on Israel, they're going on the fourth already. Okay, shot for people, right? So it's like, man, this doesn't make sense.
It never ends. It's going to be. They're saying the fourth one here, and in the U.S. they're saying, oh well, the fourth one will come out soon. It's like, wait a minute, okay, like how many of these shots are we going to take? Because first it was a mask, that was enough. Then it was 1 shot, then 2 shots, then 3 shots, then 4 shots. It's going to be never ending.
Yeah, of course. And it's going to be always like, show me. Well, unless people fight this, it's going to be show me documentation. Okay, you want to go into the restaurant? Vaccine passport, please. Do you want to go to the concert? Passport, please. Show me. Okay. So yeah, it's gonna we're going through tough times right now. And another thing is, I want to do a shout out to the moderators into the Discord server. Okay. And also remind everybody in the chat and everybody watching video that we have a Discord server and you can join. The link is on the description. Okay?
Right on.
And that was it, Anthony. Okay?
Thank you for the call.
Thank
I appreciate it.
for letting me in. Okay?
Oh, it's all good, man. Thank you.
Good night.
All right, shout out to my man Friends. I got to promote that a little bit more. The Discord, I got to promote that some more. So you guys can hop on and get everything rocking and rolling. All right, I got to get on there myself. I just don't be having time. Okay, let's go to, give me a second here, guys. Hold on, let's go. Wow, the phone is blowing up today. Good grief. 510, you're the line. Who am I speaking to?
Oh man, how's it going, ABL?
It's all good. How about yourself?
I'm doing well. I'm out here calling you from California again.
All right, sorry to hear that.
I wanted to touch on something that Mike from RSMB gave you that reference to that crazy commercial. That made me sick to my stomach. So there was another commercial actually kind of like that. It was a Doritos commercial. I don't know if anybody touched on that tonight.
No, not yet.
Oh my goodness, man. Well, you have to look that up. I guess it's a Doritos commercial, and like Mike said, really had nothing to do with the product that they were trying to sell. But so there was this. Do you know that movie Coco, Disney animated movie?
No, I've not seen that.
Okay, well, it's a Disney animated movie. It's like a Latin animated movie, and it looked like the grandma kind of that was in Coco, and so they were talking about something about involving family and loved ones who passed on, and there was a ghost that that came into their presence. I guess they were referring to the ghost as Uncle Alberto. I guess it was the grandma's son or whatnot, and she was, just asking him how he's been and everything, and he says fine, and another ghost pops into the picture, a male, and says, well, I'm not alone in the afterlife because I brought my partner with me.
Wow.
Yes, I don't know what's wrong with these commercials, and I don't know. I think it seems to be a pattern with the little boy who's obviously a boy in a dress. And now this Doritos commercial, it's crazy. If you haven't checked that out, you got to check that out. That also made me sick to my stomach. Oh my God, I don't know what's wrong with these people making these type of commercials. It's obvious what they're trying to do. It just, I just feel bad for the kids in this generation, man.
Yeah, it's really crazy, but there's a definite effort to try and attack the children, and we got to do our best to protect that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. Yeah, I don't know. Well, when you have a chance, you should check that out. It's almost hard not to laugh at it because it's just like, man, you guys are pushing this down people's throats, and it's disgusting. It's not funny, it's disgusting. But yeah, that just was crazy to me. Maybe. Yeah, I'm not gonna take up too much of your time. Me and my wife love the show. We pray for us down here in California, and I also wanted to say that, man, I appreciate finding your page about a year and some change ago. You really opened my eyes, man. I grew up down here in East Oakland, California, and ain't too many conservatives down here in the Bay Area, and I appreciate you, ABL, for all the work you do, giving me my red pill, sort of say, and I noticed that me and my wife love that when you say, oh, tea on deck, we lit, and I swear when my wife brings me tea, I swear I copy you, ABL. I was like, hey, tea on deck, we lit. So I wanted to recommend you a tea. The brand is called Big E Low, so like Bigelow, and the specific name of that tea is it's called Sweet Dreams. If you haven't tried that, man, oh man, you're in for a treat. It's like mint and chamomile, and it's delicious, man. But thank you so much, ABL. Yeah, let's see, let's see what you think about that commercial.
Well, thank you for the call, man. I appreciate you.
All righty, ABL. You have a good night.
Same to you.
All right. Bye.
All right, yeah, Bigelow. What was that? Bigelow, Sweet Dreams. What I got in here? No, we have Bigelow in here. I don't even know what this is right here, though. Like, I'm not the tea guy. My wife do all that. This says Harney and Sons. What's this? Master Tea Blenders. I don't even know what I be drinking. She just put whatever in the cup, I drink it, and it's good. All I know is green tea. So when she be like, what you want? I be like, green. That's the only color I know. Whatever else I get, she just, crass creation and give it to me. I don't know what's really going on. Okay, I'm not really cultured like that. All I know is water and stuff like that. But we got a whole lot more calls on the line. And I have that commercial, the Doritos commercial. Let me see if I can pull it up right quick.
Hermano, como te
Okay, it's not in English, so I don't want to play that. If you can't, and it's music, so I don't want to get a strike right here. But I'm gonna watch it on my own and discuss it. It has subs on it, but if you listen to the audio, then you're not really going to be able to know what's going on unless you speak Spanish. All right, let's get to the next one. $215 here on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, ABL, how's it going?
It's all good. About yourself?
All right, good. I had to turn the speakers down. So I watched Obama give his little speech, and I watched Obama give his speech down in Virginia when he was trying to endorse one of the people running for governor in Virginia. I haven't been following that story too much, but I just now caught on a couple of days ago. So did I? I could have sworn. I hope I did not hear what I think I heard when he said these Republicans are outraged about something that happened at a school, or it's like he tried to downplay the little girl getting assaulted at the school. I didn't hear what I think I heard, did I? That came out of his mouth?
I did not hear that, so I'm not sure. But if he did try to downplay it, I wouldn't be surprised. But I've not heard that myself yet.
Yeah, because it's like he was very selective with his words. I'm like, and I'm thinking to myself, I know he's not talking about when the little girl got assaulted. Talking about the fake outrage on fake outrage. I was like, you got some audacity. Shit,
Yeah.
I was like, thank God thank God his 2 terms was up. And plus, another thing I wanted to touch on, I wanted to remind people is all this, when they talk about all this hype about global warming, climate change, do people realize that climate change has been going on? That's just part of Mother Nature. That's been going on since the planet Earth was around. Climate change, because they actually look millions of years back, even when the dinosaurs roamed the Earth. Because I used to study history, like prehistoric history, and when the dinosaurs used to roam the Earth, they went through all sorts of climate change. Like it was just extremely hot, and it was low oxygen. Then at one point, the Earth was, you know how the Earth is 70% water. At one point, for like 3 million years straight, the Earth was at least 90% water. And this is before Pangea was around. So, I mean, the Earth is always going to go through changes, and a lot of these people don't even realize or don't even care to realize that the planet's always going through changes. That's just a fact of life. So they need to get over this whole global warming, climate change, and all that other just crazy nonsense. And even if there's global warming, if we can survive the plague, we can survive global warming. All this technology you guys have out of here.
Yeah, this whole thing, it's all just trying to get money. Really, the whole global warming nonsense. It's all about just getting money. It ain't really nothing else. Because really, if you talk to them, and if you see how they observe how they operate in their everyday life, it doesn't match what they preach.
Nope, it doesn't. And plus, Al Gore, he's just another freaking billionaire, whichever one he is. Same with what is it, Bernie Sanders? Didn't he just become a billionaire? No, didn't he just became a millionaire like a year ago or longer than that?
Yeah, recently, because when he was out on the campaign trail back in the day, he would say, we have to tax all the millionaires and the billionaires. But then when he became a millionaire, we have to tax all the billionaires. Well, you were saying millionaires before, but once he became a millionaire, he didn't want to tax himself. He wanted to go after like a handful of people. And then that's not even really going to be real, because they're not going to pay. It's going to be the middle class that pays these higher taxes.
Yeah, pretty much. It's just he says tax the millionaire till he becomes one. Just like you said, it's all about getting money at the end of the day. I think that's where the majority of people go into politics, just to get paid, just get money, do their little side deals. That's pretty much about it.
Right on.
Yeah. Well, thanks for taking my call.
Thank you for the call, man. Appreciate it.
All right. Have a good one.
All right. Shout out to the caller. Shout out. Let's go to a few more here. 973, you don't line. Who am I speaking to?
Yeah, my name is Enrique. What's going on here?
Ain't too much, man. What's happening?
Yeah, I'm just calling, because I've been following your show. I'm not conservative. Not with the Democrats either. You know what I'm saying? I just like to, I like to follow your show because, you seem smart. You know what I'm saying? You seem like a good brother. So I follow you because I like to call up and just give my perspective. Well, I think it's the truth of how black people shouldn't be in the Republican Party. They shouldn't be on the right. They should be, They shouldn't be conservative. They should focus on doing their own thing. They shouldn't be on the left neither, or with the Democrats, but they definitely shouldn't be with the conservatives. And I'll be wanting to call to let y'all know and to let certain people know, like, the Republicans, they have some things about them where they put some lies in place. They always trying to say black community is in shambles. I mean, that's one of the biggest lies, I feel like. And I'm in the black community, but I'm not. I'm in a semi-black community, kind of diverse. Everybody's out here. When I was in the hood, the hood got gang members. You know what I'm saying? But like everybody in the hood is not ganging. Like, you know what I'm saying? We all don't condone that. I'm young though. I'm not that young. I'm 27, but like my generation, they, you know what I'm saying? Like there's a lot of good young people out here. Like all the young black people in the hood ain't gang banging.
Are you in the hood? Or do you live in the hood right now?
I moved. I'm in like the semi hood. I used to be in a gang hood in Newark. I'm in the city. I'm in Jersey. Like I used to be in Newark, New Jersey. I used to live in a gang hood. Like there's a difference.
Why did you leave?
You know what I'm saying? Why I left? Just because, you know what I'm saying, like I moved like closer to my job. Like, you know what I'm saying, closer to my job. So
if the old hold on wait caller. Now, if the old hood where it was gang and all that kind of stuff going on, if that was close to your job, would you still be there?
Yeah, most likely, because I talk to everybody.
But why would you be in the hood where it's gangs and stuff at if you didn't have that, if you had the option to not be there?
I mean, you should. I know how to speak to everybody. I know how to speak to a man who's been gangbanging for 40 years. I know how to speak to a doctor who's been, doing his thing or whatever for however long. So I can talk to everybody, and I see, I also lived in the suburbs. I lived around a bunch of white people too. So, you know what I'm saying?
Now, but see, the problem is wait. When I talk, you got to just pause. I let you talk for a long time now. I gave you plenty of minutes, but let me just interject. Now, you could talk to somebody that's from the hood. I got family in the hood. I got friends in the hood. I could talk to them just fine, but I'm not going to live right there because, if you got some guys outside shooting, wait, let me talk. If you got some guys outside shooting, nothing to do with you. It's just outside shooting because it's in the hood and it can get dangerous. You got gangs fighting each other. And then all of a sudden, here comes the bullets through your window, and you got to duck down. That's not very safe. Do you have any kids or a wife or anything?
I got a son.
So, would you want your son to grow up in an environment like that?
No, well, I understand.
All right, then. So, I don't understand the point you were making about the hood.
How you raise, it's all about how you come up in the hood. Like, just because you're in the hood, you don't.
But you just said you would not want to have your son out there. So, that right there seals the whole deal. That right there. So, part of the reason why you're not in the hood is because you don't want your son to be there. I understand that. Do you have custody?
I got custody of him.
Yeah.
Now, me and his mama, we cool. Like I ain't with all that drama.
So y'all split time and stuff.
Huh? What'd you say?
So y'all split time and stuff.
Yeah, we split time and stuff. We ain't trying to go through.
Oh, okay. So yeah,
we cool.
You want to have your boy out there in a dangerous environment. You said that yourself. So and that's a good thing. That's a great thing. I mean, if you're in the hood, your whole objective is to get out. You don't want to stay there forever. You know it's not safe.
But everybody don't have that mindset. Everybody doesn't have the means. Some people are physically able. Some people just don't have the mindset to do certain things. And just because they don't have that mindset and they're living a certain type of lifestyle, we shouldn't put nobody down because they choose to live a street lifestyle. That's just there's things that's come behind that, the deterioration of their family line, just through the years, through generations.
What is a street lifestyle?
What
is a street lifestyle? Define it.
I mean, it ain't the best life. It ain't the best lifestyle.
But I'm
you know what
asking, the
saying?
question is, what is a street lifestyle? Explain that for me.
Oh, well, what's a street lifestyle? Like, if you want to leave it at that, gang banging, drugs, like, you know, selling drugs, like, you know what I'm saying?
So we
Hanging out
shouldn't
on the
talk
same
down
side of
on
the
so we shouldn't talk down on gang banging and drug dealing and drug using. We shouldn't talk down on that.
Some people jump into gangs just because of a certain situation that happened in their family. Like,
But
say,
should
for
we
instance,
should we not talk down on that?
The sister had got killed. Like, not everybody want to call the cops. You can't trust the police.
Is it good to be a gangbanger? Is it good to be a gangbanger or bad?
It ain't good to be gangbanging.
Is it bad to be? Is it bad to be a gangbanger?
It is bad to gangbang.
All right then. So I don't see what the argument is. I don't really see what we're talking about. It's bad to be a gangbanger. You don't want to live in the hood. Everybody should strive to get out. I understand some people might be in a bad place in their life. The finances ain't right. Might be going through a few things, and people they live there. I understand, but the purpose is to get out and to do better with your life. That's everybody's goal. That's the goal of America.
Okay, so how come the Republicans won't and the conservatives, the higher ups, won't kick out some money out there, invest into the people?
What kind of money? What money? What money do you need?
Opportunity zones. Ain't no opportunity zones. That's bull.
Wait, sir. I need you to relax, sir. Sir. What money do you need? What for what? Money for what?
You can set up programs like, bro. Like,
what kind of program would have the hood not exist?
It's like hard working ass jobs that break your back. You working that job, okay? Like you work there. Some jobs do pay better than others, but it don't pay that much better. Like,
so
they set up a jobs for you, but like the jobs everywhere. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Black people been working, so we need something more than just the jobs. We need something that's gonna have a job, and that the job is going to be the stepping stone to the career. And like,
okay.
They can set that up.
What kind of job do you want that you can't get in the hood right now?
Bro, this hella job the black people in the hood can't get.
I'm asking. Give me some.
You can go out there and become a doctor. Like, it's so goddamn. If you put your mind to it, you can just become a doctor and a lawyer. Not telling you all the other shit that's included.
Wait, sir, you can't cuss now. You can't curse, sir. You can't cuss. Now the question is, what kind of jobs do you want to see be given to the hood that are not available right now? Give me some examples of realistic things you can do that you would like to see.
Okay, jobs in politics, jobs and
politics, like
jobs, what? More jobs in engineering, more jobs and like, you know, like all different types of
engineering
fields, not just engineering.
Okay,
you know
so understand this. Check it out. There's plenty of jobs. There's plenty of sir. There's plenty of jobs in engineering, but the problem is people in the hood don't have that level of education. They don't have those skills for these high-skilled jobs.
Why is that? Why is that they don't have the level of education? What is that about?
Well, you got public school, K through 12. You got all kind of sir. I'm not done talking. You asked me the question. You have school K through 12. You have a lot of programs that can get you into community college. You got all kind of grants and scholarships to go to a 4-year college for free. If you can't go for free, you got loans. You're able to go get what you want. But the problem is, a lot of the people in the hood, there's not a lot of emphasis put on education. Because I come from the hood too, but I had an emphasis on education. My whole thing was to study and read and research and learn. But a lot of people in these environments, sir, I'm not done talking. Sir, I'm not done talking. Sir, not done talking. Sir. Now, the problem is people don't have the skills to do these things because there was not an emphasis on that at an early age from their parents and from those that are around them. I saw this story in Baltimore where the boy had a 1.3 GPA, failing, 18 years old. The mom don't know what's going on. How does a mom not even know what's going on? It's report cards that come out and they get plenty of money. Baltimore get a third most amount of money per student in the whole USA. Out of any school, public, they get a lot of money, but the parents don't care about what the kid. But the boy got the Xbox. He got the Jordans, all that kind of stuff, but he can't read. That's the parents' fault. So until they change the culture of the parents, the kids ain't gonna do nothing, and then the cycle continues. All this hood stuff going on. People that leave the hood have parents that care. Period.
I won't say that just because you stay that you don't care about your child. I mean, like I said, things come into play. But yeah, I would recommend if you're living in a bad gang neighborhood where it's a lot of shooting, it's not the best place to live at all. I do give you that. But we transition this conversation over to the hood. I really called to tell you about how we should not be into the whole Republican and Democrat thing, because the Republicans are trying to play it off like, oh, they don't mess around with the government, or they're not messing around with big government. Man, do your research. They mess around with big government.
Okay. Well, you know what? That's a whole different topic. Wait, sir. Listen, sir. Okay, but see, you can't talk over me though. You can't talk over me. Now nobody can hear you. Now I'm gonna just go ahead and talk. This has been a good call, but I'm at the end of my show. It's past 11 o'clock, so I gotta go, man. So call back next time. We'll call back next time, and then we'll talk about whatever you want to talk about. All right. So have a good night. Okay, you can't just talk to me forever. I ain't your baby mama. But anyway, shout out to all y'all for being here. You guys have been a great audience tonight. I couldn't do it without you, but that's going to be a wrap for me. I'm past my time, and you know how I am. I'm a punctual person, or I try to be at least. And if I'm not punctual, blame the white man for that. But yeah, that'll be a wrap. Thank y'all for being here. Hopefully you enjoyed the show tonight. It's been a good one. Listen to this restream on your favorite audio streaming platform, whether it be Google Play, Spotify, Stitcher, Anchor, etc. Link for that will be in the box. Or just go to your favorite audio streaming platform and search ABL Live. I should pop right on up. Give me a 5-star rating. Give me a review. Give me a thumbs up, whatever you can on those platforms. I most certainly appreciate it. But that will be a wrap. Shout out to the mods, of course, for doing what you do. I appreciate you guys keeping them trolls in check, keeping everything above board. Couldn't do it without y'all. I got super chats to read right here, and then I wrap it on up, put the bowl clean on top. Let's go back to where I was, and let's see. Hold on. Let me see. Okay, I think it's Boat versus Windshield who says, October 21st, Oregon undercounted 450 virus deaths between May and August. Now, to quote-unquote correct the numbers, the state will inflate deaths in upcoming months. Of course, that's how that goes. All right, and thank you to Chelsea Bruck, who says, also a 12-month member, thank you for that. Chelsea says, just got tickets to see Chappelle in Indy with Husby. Thank you, ABL. Well, I'm glad y'all able to go. Hopefully you enjoy the show. It's going to be a good one. Thank you to John Louis Blackburn, who says, why were Alec's cover stories premeditated? All unrelated and all sound like a kid caught with a cookie in a cookie jar. Well, yeah, that makes sense. I'm not sure why they were all, premeditated like that. Baby Yoda, thank you for your donation, says, amazing. Shout out to all Jesse Lee Peterson fans. We need an ABL interview. That could happen, maybe. Thank you to Sleepy Jux for your donation. I don't want to say the wrong thing. I know I'm butchering your name. It's not my fault, but anyway. Thank you to the anti-view who says, hey, Fauci, leave those dogs alone with a wall of dogs at Cigar Box credit. Thank you to FA Ranger Xbox who says the hole in the ozone layer was caused by low Earth nuclear detonations. Prove me wrong. Oh man, that's a good take right there. All right. Shout out to FA Ranger Xbox who says Earth is 25,000 miles diameter. The atmosphere extends about 6,000 miles. CO2 is 0.03%. Thank you to Fauna Faye who says the pronoun guy, just like a Japanese character, looked like the perfect candidate for Chris Hansen and NBC to catch. They need to bring back that show. 1,000%. You know what? A lot of these people, all these trillions of pronouns or whatnot, look like straight predators. 1,000,000%. That's why the kids are being targeted in these commercials. The people that make these commercials probably look just like that guy in a Japanese outfit. 100%. Okay. If it was the 80s, they put him in jail right away. Pre-crime, Minority Report type stuff. FNA Ranger Xbox says thorium reactors will eat thermonuclear waste. Search. Simply Grace, thank you for your donation, says the TikTok person is a gray ace, Gray ace, or an asexual who is somewhere between asexual and sexual. Making up stuff as we go along, huh? I see. Building it as we fly it. Thank you to Fauna Faye, who says, when you campaign for the blue, sing, rapper, dance, so the blacks know to vote for you. LOL, I'm tired of the woke BS. As a black woman, I'm offended. 100%. 100. It's like all these little corny dances. Is that all it takes to get us to vote? Put some hot sauce in your bag, do a little jig. That's all it takes to get a vote. No policy, no promises, not even an empty promise. I mean, come on. Can we do a little bit better? Thank you to Frank Dest, who says left Twix, no, right Twix, no, woke Twix, yes. Winston says, I don't want to take your last name up. Fujimori says, I'm a Skype number calling in. Already got you. Thank you for that. Thank you to KG Obando for the donation. Thank you to Marie Stark for the donation. Thank you to the Anti-View, who says, ABL, please check your status of mods. I got you on that. Thank you to Blast Radius, who says, can Alec blame Biden for telling his employees to get the shot? Shout out to the Anti-View. That's a good one. that was funny. I almost missed it, but I caught it. I really did. It just, the Anti-View says, sir, trade school is basically free for most low income, especially minority people, and you're a dad, free money to better yourself all day. 100%. Thank you to Les, who says, Leslie, be good on next time, ABL. Thank you. Pray for our country. Thank you. Appreciate you for that. Thank you to Beef, who says, love the USA hat. Look up Kentucky school staff, including town mayor, photograph getting lap dances from male students in lingerie. I saw that. I almost did a video on that, but it's too graphic. And they put that on YouTube, but it wasn't on, they put it on Facebook. They put pictures of that on Facebook like it was a good thing. It's like, what in the world's going on here? But again, that goes back to this whole thing about messing with the kids. Leave them kids alone. Leave them alone. Like, if you want to be an adult and mess with other men as a man, that's your business, man. I ain't trying to, police your bedroom as an adult, but leave the kids out of it. Why is that a hot take to have in 2021? Leave the kids alone. Hey, if you want to be an adult male or other adult males is fine, but don't touch 12-year-olds. Why is that so hard to understand? I'm triggered, so I digress. Thank you to S King for keeping it up, working out emoji. Thank you to Joe Ryder 84, who says, last failed to realize Trump was putting in job opportunities in the hood. Last caller. People like that will only listen if you preach victimhood. And thank you to Marcus, who says, do you think we have a chance in New Jersey to kick out Phil Murphy, especially with the videos Project Veritas released? It's possible. Anything's possible. I can't really predict the future, but it's possible, especially right now with what's happening in the country. And thank you to Bob K. MIT, who says, hope your last caller calls back. I think he's a good dad who feels trapped for his son. Hope he can steer his son to a trade school. Welders make $130 per hour. Wishing them the best. 100%. There's all kind of trades out there, and it's a high demand. You got guys trucking, eating. Like right now, like if you go be a trucker right now, it's gravy. My thing is, I know women that truck. Women, ladies that are trucking and getting money. And look, 5'2", it ain't like the old school where you driving a lot of manuals and it's crazy. You got owner op, 5'2" women getting money. 100 bands, 150 bands a year. So, I mean, there's so many excuses, but people just lazy, in my opinion. And it's laziness combined with ignorance. They don't even know what's available. It's so much money floating around this country. It's not even funny. They want to give you all types of credit. They blowing my phone up. Mr. Logan, would you like some credit? Would you like this? Would you like that loan? Would you like that loan? I got my Shopify store. They're saying, okay, we'll give you some capital, $10,000. You want it? Here, take that. No interest. The first 36 months, take that. It's so much money. It's like, what is a problem? But you got to have the mentality to be the one to go and get it rather than relying upon the government to do everything for you. That's why the illegal aliens come over here. Illegal aliens, regular immigrants, they come over here and get money. They come from abject poverty in their home country, come over here and eat. with no problem. We over here, born in the country, generations deep, and want to stay doing the absolute minimum and expecting the world. That's not how it works. But I'll move on. Thank you all for being here. You guys are the best audience anywhere on the internets. And thank you to my last super chat right here, Zedachis Kainsor, who says, would you be willing to be interviewed by a comedian like Nick DiPaolo? I'll be open to it. Now, I need to see what kind of interview they're going to do. I ain't trying to get bombarded with no weird stuff, but I'll be open to it for sure. All right. So that's all I got for now. Somebody said, is a CDL expensive? I'm not exactly sure, but I mean, it can't be much more than what you would make as a trucker. Now, I'm not saying truck driving is the best job in the world. Somebody says it sucks. I mean, it pays money. Hey, I was going to be a firefighter making $35,000. I was going to make 35 grand as a firefighter. Okay. Firefighters dying early because of heart attacks because you sleep. You're sleeping at the station because you work 24 hours. It could be 2:00 in the morning. You're a dead sleep, REM sleep, sleeping hard. The siren goes off. You got to be up in minutes, put on your gear, heavy gear, going on a truck, rushing into a burning building, into a dangerous area, gunshots going off potentially. Your heart's messed up. You're 55 years old and die from a heart attack. I was going to do that for like 35,000 starting and ending 60 grand. My dad did that. His top pay was 60 as a firefighter. I was going to do that. Now, driving the truck, making $100,000 in a year, or a lot, maybe not quite that much, but a lot with benefits, paid time. You could be, working in DMV or something like that and be kind of chilling, and that's fine if you want to do that, but you got to take sometimes high risks. But anyway, I'll move on. You guys have been great, but I got to go. Thank y'all for being here. I'll be back again live probably tomorrow on Tatum's channel, and if not, I'll be back live here on my channel on Saturday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the live show, and pre-recorded all throughout the week, doing my regular videos, usually 2 a day if I can. All right, so that's it. So until next time, y'all be safe. I'm out, and peace.